think it's gonna be spicy this week. I think it's gonna be spicy.
Is it a hot one?
I think it's a hot one. I think it's a hot potato this week because before we started this podcast, I was like, earlier today I woke up and I was just like, man, I didn't sleep a lot last night, and so I brewed a pot of coffee and I drank half of one cup of coffee, and then I was like, oh shit, it's time to go to Starbucks, and then I got like another thing of coffee, and then I drank half my Starbucks, and then I poured the rest of my cold coffee into the iced coffee that I got from Starbucks. I got coffee on coffee with coffee for days.
Jesus.
Yo, dog, I heard you like coffee.
Doesn't that like mix the flavors or something?
I don't give a shit about the flavors. It's Starbucks. It's all the same flavor. Burned. Welcome back to the RageSelect podcast. Here on RageSelect, I am Jeff.
And I'm Mike, and I don't know enough about Starbucks to dispute that.
Starbucks tends to over roast their beans so that they have a consistent flavor.
Okay.
And so it has more of like a smoky burned flavor.
So do they just tell terrible jokes to it all day to roast it?
Yes.
Time?
Dude, okay.
They're like, your mom is still fat.
Okay, listen, I got something I got to get off my chest, but I got a thing I got to get off my chest harder than the other thing.
Okay.
I got two things on my chest, and I'm going to get the smaller one off first. I went to Starbucks today, and I was in the drive-thru, and they were like, guess what's new at Starbucks? And I was like, what? And they were like, we have a dragon fruit lemonade muy caliente spicy drink. I'm like, and it was like refreshing, and I was like, is that refreshing? It's getting to be summer in Texas. Why would I want a lemonade that's spicy, you guys?
That's a strange option, yes.
I don't even know if I could deal with a drink. I couldn't deal with a hot drink that was spicy. Drinks aren't supposed to be spicy. Drinks are supposed to get rid of the spice. Why? What? What?
It's for the one who loves spice all day, every day.
I just think that we're at a point in history where we've run out of gimmicks, right? They've did like caramel and pineapple and pumpkin spice and strawberries and cherries and raspberries, and they've got every flavor under the sun, and they're like, what haven't we done? And I'm like, I don't know, grind up a habanero and put it in lemonade. Like, sir, is that a good idea? I'm like, fuck those dudes, they'll drink whatever.
Pretty much, yeah. Make it a challenge or whatever.
God, the habanero lemonade challenge. That actually sounds like something that would be on TikTok.
I'm amazed it's not by now.
If it's not, we should start it. We'll become TikTok millionaires somehow. Well, we got a weird lineup this week. I might have over-newsed this week.
We've had some weeks where we didn't have enough news, so we'll see how it goes.
It depends. We had an Indie World showcase, but I think that's going to go pretty quick. But before we get to that, it's funny. Last week I was talking about the Fallout, but I actually had something else to talk about last week, but now you guys got to hear about it this week. Mm-hmm. I watched that Dune Part 2.
Oh, okay. I'm curious about this.
I watched that Dune Part 2, Michael. Were you on when I talked about Dune Part 1?
I don't remember. I just know we talked about it at length.
Yeah. So, when people, when they make like a Spider-Man movie, but then they do something stupid where they change Spider-Man's whatever.
Yeah.
And you're in the theater like, look, I know this might be better for a movie, but I just can't stop myself from getting mad that you've made Spider-Man's web slingers into things that are inside of his arms instead of why can't it just be the thing from the comics?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be an organic? Spiders don't shoot webs out of their wrists, you jackholes. And that's how I feel about Dune. It's my favorite book of all time. I went to go watch Dune 2, and I was just like, I'm sure this is fine for you numbnuts fly by night. Like, I'm going to put... I saw somebody on Twitter who put the... God, what do they call him? The Lisan Al-Gaib, and it was like somebody named Lisa who put like Lisa Al-Gaib as like their Twitter name or something. And I'm like, yeah, guys. Okay, that's all cool and everything, but like, you guys know that this isn't the real Dune, right? Like, this is some fake bullshit Dune. You guys know that, right? They've left out huge amounts. They've added in stuff where I'm just like, but why? But why did you add that?
How long is the movie?
2.5 hours. That's
okay.
Part 2, like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm sure it's fine as a movie, but it's the one property in the world that I can't not nitpick.
Okay.
So like, I'm like, well, yeah, you changed that in Part 1, and so now fucking the Atreides Mentat can't show up in the dramatic finale at the end, or like, oh, you put in what's her face, God, I can't remember any names now. The lady from
You're almost there, Jeff.
Death Stranding that has the Margaret Qualley. No. The lady from Death Stranding that plays Fragile.
I don't. So something Sadu.
Leia Sado. They put her in as the Lady Fenrig, but they didn't put in Count Fenrig. I'm like, wait a minute. If you're going to take out the Fenrigs, you take out all of them. There wasn't any reason to... Anyway, I can stop myself even after 7 beers from going like, what is this horse shit? Like, at the screen during the dramatic conclusion when stuff happened, and I'm just like, but why did you do that, man? Like,
so the viewers, the reason I find this so entertaining is because Jeff, long time ago, has like, you know what, nothing phases me anymore when they change things, and it turns out Dune was the one thing that would hit him as hard as possible.
Yes,
and I think that's kind of amazing.
Yes, here's actually here's the thing. I was very excited last week that I watched the first 2 episodes of Fallout to not have to do this. And then this week I kept meaning to watch something else so that I didn't have to do this.
Okay.
Because the thing is that this is my fault. Like, I watched the first one and I was like, this seems like a perfectly fine movie, but it's irritating the shit out of me because it's changing aspects of my favorite science fiction story of all time. I can always just not watch this movie and go read the book. And then the second one came out and everybody was talking about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch this and it's going to irritate the shit out of me. Like, I normally don't endorse hate watching stuff if you know going in that it's going to piss you off and then being pissed off and making that everybody else's problem, right? Yeah. Like, if you don't like Captain Marvel, don't watch the Marvels. Like, don't do that. Like,
I still haven't seen it, to be honest. Not because I hate her, but I just haven't seen it.
No reason to do that. Like, hey, you know what I didn't watch in the theater? That new Ghostbusters movie. I watched the last one and I was like, man, not for me. And so I didn't rush out to watch The Frozen Empire, even though I think that's on VOD now too, and I'll probably complain about it next week. But I like to like things. I don't like to not like things.
No,
It's like my favorite thing of all time.
It's just it surprises me because, like I said, you were very adamant. You were like, nothing will face me anymore. Everything I love has been destroyed. I'm like, okay, it turns out they had one last thing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that at the end of the day, just go read the book. Just go read the book.
Is there an audiobook?
Of course.
Okay.
It's so much of that story takes place inside of people's heads.
Oh, okay.
And like in the Lynch version, they tried to get around that by like having voiceover, and then in the new version, they tried to get around that by having like very artsy, soulful shot composition. But it's like, man, you really need to know the mechanics of what's happening inside of Jessica's head when she takes the water of life, because then that tells you what's going to happen inside of Paul's head when the same thing happened. Like, there's all this weird metaphysical shit that's happening inside of people's heads.
Well, that's always been the hard part of adapting any book, really. Like, there's so many like moments they're like, this is great if you know exactly what he's thinking at this exact moment,
right? Which
works in a book form, but you can't always go into like a guy's head in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, but like the thing is that it's different. Like, I think that in some books, right? Some books are like, you're reading along and it's like, yes, and then they met on the terrace and they were so in love and they gazed into each other's eyes and their hearts swelled with the excitement of new love in the spring. And then you watch the movie and they meet on the bridge and they look at each other's eyes and the music comes up or whatever. Yeah. In the book, you got characters that are doing like plans within metaphysical brain computer stuff inside of their head. Yeah. No facial expression or musical cue is going to make you understand what the Kwisatz Haderach is. Like, you have to either explain it or you have to have like a monologue, or you just have to be willing to be like, I guess we're just going to do this. And if the audience doesn't know, sucks to be you, I suppose.
Okay.
And so then for me, it was like, you get to the end of the movie and you're like, man, if I hadn't read these books, I wouldn't know what the fuck a Kwisatz Haderach is. They'd have barely even described the stupid version of it, let alone like... Anyway, it's fine. This is also a pain that I've lived with for a million years, because it's like I watched the movie when I was a kid. I loved it. I wanted it more, so I read the book. After I read the book, I watched the Alan Smithy version, the 3-hour Alan Smithy cut that David Lynch demanded they take his name off of. That was disappointing. I watched the sci-fi original miniseries Dune. That was disappointing.
I forgot that was the thing.
I watched Dune Part 1. That was disappointing. There was no good reason for me to expect anything but disappointment, but I did it anyway. So
you never know. It could surprise you.
Read the books; they're way better. Do that. Do that. What about you? I also finished Fallout, and I thought it was rad.
That's good.
I'm hoping that it gets more seasons, because it is one of... I feel like we might be entering that Marvel place where companies are realizing if you put somebody in charge of a video game adaptation that cares about it and makes the right references, that like the audience will be great, will love it.
Well, not only that, they'll talk about it.
Right.
But they'll talk about it in the good way, because we were stuck in a weird limbo where we're getting both things. We're like, this is such a great faithful adaptation, and then you look at Halo, you're like, this is somebody who doesn't give less of a shit about any of this. And then they go back, and then we got Castlevania, and that was amazing. Same with Arcane. And then you look at Super Mario Brothers, you're like, you kind of cared, but like this is just like middle of the road kind of thing.
Made like $1 billion.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean, like quality wise, like we're like. Back in the day, that would have been like, this is the best movie ever. Kind of like video. We finally got past where that is no longer like, this is the best video game thing we could get.
Yeah,
and I'm interested to see if that keeps going from here, because of the fact that, like you said, superhero movies have started going downhill when it comes to how much they're making.
Yep.
So I have a feeling that, like you said, Mario made like $1 billion.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting those movie companies to be like, we need to make more video game movies.
And we don't have numbers, but from what I can tell, it's like Lord of the Rings tanked. They tried to do more Lord of the Rings on Amazon, and that just like wasn't very well received. And yet nobody will shut up about Fallout. So if The Boys and Fallout are making you money, and Lord of the Rings is not, then yes, we are going through a paradigm shift.
It's a huge paradigm shift, and even Invincible is doing really well for them. Like there's, like it comes down to like it's what James Gunn is saying. People aren't tired of superhero things, and they're not tired of anything. They just need good stories again.
Yeah.
And Invincible's doing really well as well. Like that they renewed it, and they're even trying to make a game stuff out of it, last I heard.
There's a few different things. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I that was one of the latest things I did. I don't remember if I think I talked about Invincible last time, right?
I don't remember. We just got done with this huge conversation about how neither of us remembers what we were talking about.
Well, there's the main two things I did was I rewatched the second half of Invincible season 2.
Okay.
And it holds up very well with what's going on. My problem with Invincible season 2 is the same problem I had with the first season, which is that the way the animation is that there's so many moments that are much more effective because of the way the lighting is drawn in the comic. Because there's one specific like moment that I love to death in the comics, and it's a moment where Nolan's finally just admits that like he's like, I care, kind of thing. And in the comics it's this great moment where he's sitting in a chair and it's like the shadow over his face, and you can see like the sudden realization. He's like, I miss my life, kind of thing. And then in the show it's just like flat animation, like just like, oh, I'm gonna say it. And it's like, well, it's sad still, but like it's not as effective because everything is still colored the way it is the rest of the show.
I consider that style to be like very. I feel like I saw it first from DC. Like the DC animated movies kind of started with this, what I would consider to kind of be the Invincible style. And it's very good at like expressing characters. It is not very artful.
No.
It's very flat. Like, it's just very flat. Like, it's good at, showing when fucking he holds Mark up through that train car. Like, you can see exactly what's happening, and that's good. But it also, what you're talking about with, like, lighting and shadows and stuff, it's like they just don't have the time when they're cranking this stuff out to really deal with the complexities of, like, lighting those characters.
Yeah, because there's even a moment that happens later that in the second, I think it's the last episode, where Mark is just covered in blood.
Yeah.
And it's somehow just not as effective as the way the comic makes it seem. Because once it's on him, it's just now just like a flat thing on him, and it's not like really dripping all that much.
Right.
Where Ryan
in the comics, they love to draw those little droplets.
Yeah.
And
with Ryan Otley, he just looks disgusting because it's just like, it's like dripping and like all it's everywhere. Like you just feel gross looking at him.
Whoever the artist is on Invincible, he likes to draw blood the way that Matt Frank likes to draw Godzilla scales.
Yes.
Where it's just like, I will sit here for a day drawing individual little splashy droplets of blood coming off of the side of somebody's head.
That comic is one of those brutal things I've ever read in my life.
Holy shit. I mean, like, I like the comic The Boys, but Invincible is like way more violent.
Ryan Otley is a master of gore, and I don't know how he does it.
Yeah,
I got to meet him once at the Comic-Con, but I didn't have any money to buy a print from him, or else I would have.
The only thing I've ever seen, I think, that has more detail than that was I don't, who is it? Rusty the Boy Robot, big guy in Rusty the Boy Robot, or Hard Boiled, like that guy.
Well, that's just Frank Miller, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Well, I know he wrote it. I think I don't remember the artist's name because I know what you're talking about now. Because I actually do own this comic.
Because like it's an oversized. Oh, that's the.
Yeah, there's a TV show. So
yeah, I know there's a TV series based on comic book by the same name. Jeff Darrow.
That's
Jeff Darrow. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do own that. I found it at a half price not that long ago.
It's great. Because it's huge and it's so detailed.
Because I actually was a big fan. The way I found it was because I was a big fan of that show.
Yeah.
When it came out, and so then I found the comic and I was like, oh, this is way different.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they're both really interesting in their own ways.
Yep.
But like when you read the comic, you're like, oh, this is just a giant satire about American militarism,
about Astro Boy and Iron Man,
and it's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And I love. And why is there not more of this?
Yep. Yeah. Well, speaking of having too much of a good thing, let's talk about video game news.
Yes.
We're going to start with the Nintendo Indie World Showcase that came up. There's some interesting stuff in here, but we're going to kind of try to go through it relatively quickly. We started out with a trailer and a release date, I believe, for Little Kitty Big City.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of like, you remember, what was that game where you played as the cat and it was all the world of robots?
Stray.
Stray. It's kind of like Stray, but it's like you're just like a little Pixar cat in the world. The cat is really expressive. Like the face on the cat is really good looking. Big ass green eyes.
And it still has a very realistic cat body.
Yes.
But like you said, it is very much like a cartoon cat.
Yeah. So yeah, this game is about kind of wandering around and doing like quests for other animals. You can also knock stuff off of ledges because of course you can.
Yeah.
And do all kinds of little cat emotes and stuff like that. And it's all just like very adorable. You get little hats you can put on your cat with different little animal things.
I remember talking to people who played Stray, and a lot of their issues were, this isn't adorable enough.
Right.
And like that's not even a joke. That's literally things I heard people say about that game.
Yeah.
This is going to be the game they want to actually
This
play.
looks adorable. Absolutely adorable. I mean, we've known that this is coming out for a while, but we got a release date May 9th, so it's right around the corner. But yeah, solid. Pretty solid. This next one was very weird. Michael, I don't like dead air, but I almost wish I could let you listen to the voiceover for this.
Okay.
Because this is like, it's this whole like, it's a cyberpunk future and I'm a fucking cyberpunk girl in a cyberpunk world, whatever. It's from Way Forward, and I was like, oh, it's an Atari property, and it's this like little anime girl, and this is in the Yar's Revenge universe.
Huh.
Like that's the weird bug alien from Yar's Revenge.
Yar's Rising?
And it's called Yar's Rising, and it's a side-scrolling kind of action platformer.
I never would have guessed that a million years.
Yeah, where I was like, well, because she has that tattoo. The tattoo is the avatar from Yar's Revenge.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, is that just like a throwback thing? And it's like, no, this is published by Atari.
And it's like part of the whole thing.
It's very weird though, Michael, because you're looking at this right now and like, I think that it kind of looks not great. Like
not really.
I expect more from Way Forward than what I'm seeing as far as the actual action goes.
Yeah, like the way she walks is really generic.
It's very stiff,
and
the action is very stiff. It
feels
very
more like
stiff.
a Mega Man knockoff than it is anything else, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, like there's not a big sense of speed.
This is like the C team of Way Forward. And that's kind of weird.
Well, who knows?
Especially after we played Contra.
Yeah.
And that was so great.
Maybe it'll be better once it comes out, right? Like maybe this is just like an early build or something, and they haven't yet to do a final pass on the animations. But like, I do think it needs to be a little bit more dynamic, because if this is just what it's like, this is generic. Like I've seen indie game studios with 3 members that do better animation than this. Yeah. So.
Especially after playing, I don't know if it's when is that video out for Turbo Kid?
Everything we've recorded should be out by now.
Okay, well, Turbo Kid like had a little more expressiveness than this thing.
Oh yeah, Turbo Kid was like way more interesting.
That's why I'm like, this is a bit disappointing from you guys.
Yep. From there, we found this is a really weird one. It's called Refined Self, and it's a personality test game.
Okay.
Where it's like you play as this robot and you're kind of going around and there's all this different stuff to do in the world, and you have to decide, like, you have to make decisions about what you want to do. And do you want to help people? Do you want to fish? Do you want to have a conversation with somebody? And then, like, at the end of the game, it gives you like a score, like a personality profile score, where it's like, oh, you're an artisan, oh, you're a hero, oh, you're a leader, and it's like, what?
It's gonna end up like Metal Gear Solid 3. You're a killer whale because all you did was murder everybody. You sick fuck. It's like, okay, cool.
That's Metal Gear Solid 5, right?
No, 3 did it as well.
Oh, okay.
It would give you the end, like it would tell you whatever, because it was always at the end of the game. Like it was based on everything you did.
Right.
And so I always got killer whale because all I did was kill all the time.
Faster, Michael.
And so
kill.
So yeah, it's gonna be that, or it's gonna be really funny when the game comes out and they're like, I keep getting autistic as the ending. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. This does not look very interesting to me, to be honest. Like, it just seems a little bit too weird and cozy.
It's such a very specific idea for a game that, like, the people who want to play, who are going to play it, already know whatever their personality type is. Yeah, and they just want to see if the game will get it too.
I don't know. It's like if the end state is just like, which personality profile did I get? That doesn't seem like a game.
No,
that seems like a SAT question test.
I don't even want to say therapy with extra steps because I don't think it's that either.
Yeah,
it's an online quiz with extra steps.
Right. It's which Harry Potter house are you in? Yeah. The game.
And you know, some people will find that interesting, but I'm not. If I played, I'm like, I'm not going to trust my personality type to a fucking Nintendo game.
Fuck no.
No, it's stupid.
So yeah,
I don't want to play Super Mario and have him turn around and be like, I think you're a very thoughtful person. The way you saved the princess was very nice.
Yep.
Okay, this is weird.
Let's see. From there, this is a very weird game. This is called Sticky Business, and the game is like a simulation of you running like an online sticker store and designing these little stickers with like little clip art things, and then like printing them and cutting them and shipping them, and then like people will review them and they'll say, I want stickers with a frog on it, so you got to get like a frog and make a little sticker thing. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
This is a game that there are people I feel like would love this.
Yeah.
But they're not us.
Yeah. yes, absolutely, 100%.
Like where I'm like it's a game type that I know people would be like, this is relaxing, and I can be a little creative with it.
Yeah.
Like I could see Tessa messing with this, the kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I can't see like Blake messing with this.
No, yeah, I see. I mean, like, I'm a firm believer in the idea that anything can be a video game, like with enough, you know, if like Hideo Kojima turned walking into a video game.
Well, that's the thing.
If this was Hideo Kojima's sticker processing game, I think I would be more interested in it.
It would have a twist, and you know it. But the thing is that, like, no, you're right. Like these past two games are good examples of why gaming is such a versatile art form than any other type of thing outside of maybe a choose your own adventure book.
Yeah.
And even then, that's kind of tricky.
So, yeah, I don't know. And this is one of those, and it's out today things.
Oh, that's actually kind of surprising.
It also has a DLC at launch that has like some other stuff to it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, keep that in mind. This game launched with DLC on the same day it launched. So
that is kind of weird.
Let's see. From there, we got a trailer for Anton Blast, which is like Pizza Tower, sort of. It's actually
it's Wario World.
Well,
it's Wario Land,
which is what Pizza Tower was based on, right? Like, like this is it's got a very kind of like rough and tumble 90s cartoon like style to it. And then it even does the thing where you get to the end of the level and then you have to go all the way back to the beginning before the time runs out.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a very frenetic kind of action platformer. I really do think that this is just trying to cash in on Pizza Tower's fame from last year because
it is
big.
But it's got that very insane. Like it very much just reminds me of what Wario Land would be if they were willing to make another version of that.
If it was made by Adult Swim Games and then shut down.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit bad, but yeah, but it looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
I have a friend who would absolutely love this because he loved the Wario Land games when they came out.
No, I mean, like the thing is, I played Pizza Tower and thought it was great, and this is looks really really fun, very frenetic, very colorful, very kind of interesting,
really cool.
Really just like kind of trying to move forward as fast as humanly possible. They've got like a big kind of score multiplier and stuff. Yeah, definitely think that this one looks interesting. I don't think it's got a release date, but it does have a demo.
I wonder if it'll catch on the way Pizza Tower did.
I hope so. Oh, it's November 12th.
Okay.
Is when it's coming out. Let's see. Valley Peaks is what the fuck was this again? I don't remember. It's a wholesome.
It's a climbing platformer.
It's like a jumping climbing thing where you play as like a frog that's trying to get everybody back on the Death Stranding network or something.
Okay.
I don't remember. Whatever this was, it was just like it was one of those like I know I'm not going to play this. I know that I'm not gonna play this, but some kind of like specific. It's got a kind of an interesting art style. It reminds me a little bit of like Little Gator Game sort of.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
With a little bit more like kind of colored pencil vibes to it. So. Let's see. From there, we got another trailer for Laurelai and the Laser Eyes, which is one of my favorite titles for any video game. As with the last one, it seems like some weirdo shit. It seems like Killer 7, the adventure game. I don't know how. Do you remember this? Do you remember Laurelai and the Laser Eyes?
It. I remember us talking about it because of and having that exact thought process was the Killer 7 look.
But it's obviously like a puzzle game, but it's weird and it's surreal.
Who's the dev on this?
This is from the dev of like, let's say at the beginning of like Year Walk and Sayonara Wild Hearts,
okay.
Device 6. So like, it's probably going to be good.
Yeah.
It seems really, really strange. It kind of reminds me of like if those Rusty Lake Hotel games were like a genre instead of just like specific games, it kind of reminds me of those, of like a kind of adventure game and like figuring stuff out and puzzles.
Yeah.
Really striking use of color. A lot of it's black and white, but then some of it's like this kind of red crimson, red pinky kind of crimson stuff.
It makes everything else stand out just super well.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And it's mostly just that one color.
And it looks like it has a lot of like different gameplay types, different types of puzzles and little mini games and stuff. So
it's not that far from now either.
Yeah, it's coming out May 16th. So
Annapurna's publishing it.
Yep, not too long to wait. Let's see. From there, we got this one is wrong. Europa, which is a 3D action platformer about a little kid that's going out to try to like catalog and save the world. I don't know. This one seems like it could be interesting. I don't know. The thing is, Michael, whenever I feel bad a lot of times with these things because there's nothing specifically wrong with this, but I'm like, what's the hook? What's different about this?
What makes it the more exciting of like these types of open world running around type games?
The kid has like some kind of like jetpack that seems like he's kind of like fly glide places, but it still just kind of reminds me of like a kind of Breath of the Wild-y open world doing stuff like Breath of the Wild and Ni no Kuni together kind of thing.
What's kind of funny is that like some of the opening areas that it shows off kind of reminds me of parts of Elden Ring, but like cartoony. Does that make sense? Like if you guys would see it, you would get what I mean, especially in the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But then it'll show something like this that's like, that's like a Ni no Kuni type look.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's I'm sure it's interesting once we find out more about it, but it's not that. It doesn't grab me.
Yeah. Demo coming out today, or is already out. We got the trailer for TMNT's Splintered Fate, which is the roguelike that was on the Apple Arcade.
Oh.
Remember that one?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's coming to Nintendo Switch, so it's kind of Hades meets Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, where you get like all of them, they all play a little differently, and then they all get like upgrades for each level, and they're kind of randomized. It was always seemed like a good concept. Like Apple Arcade always seemed like they paid for it. Got reviewed well too, where they pay for like good stuff, but then it's trapped on Apple Arcade, and you're just like, well, I don't have that. I don't want to play things there.
Yeah, that's what happened with that Castlevania game as well. And they shut that down super fast. I'm like, because you guys didn't put it on like the one thing everyone else wanted to play it on, you guys.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I don't know. That's the only my only problem with Apple Arcade is they have like really interesting things that rarely leave it, which is a shame.
Yeah. So this is coming out on in July.
Okay. No, I'll probably play it.
Well, hell, man, you're gonna be eating good to the Ninja Turtles because you got this, and then you got the arcade thing in.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's coming out too.
Yeah. So, lots of stuff. Let's see. We got a brief trailer for Cat Quest 3. This was announced. This was announced this was announced last week at that big indie thing, that i3 thing. I didn't catch it last week, but you're a cat and you're trying to fight pie rats. So all of the pie rats that you're fighting are like rats.
I got it. I thought there were rats made out of pie at first.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wait, no, I know what you're saying now.
But this one looks all like goofy and shit, like a lot of the other Cat Quest games, like, pretty decent. I've never played any of them really that much. I played
neither I.
One on the dojo with Amanda, but I've never like really gotten into it. This one apparently there's like naval combat. There's like real-time naval combat, and then also you can play it split screen, or not even split screen, just co-op. Like you can have two people playing at the same time.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks fine.
It makes fucking Skull and Bones like stupid now.
Well, that game always looks stupid.
Yeah, except now the cats make them look even stupider,
right?
Because it's like this already looks more fun than that fucking game was.
Skull and Bones. Well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna shut down Skull and Bones. You're gonna keep the servers up until you've completed your legal obligation to the government, and then you're gonna shut that shit right down.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
Let's see. From there, we got a game called Stitch. This is a really weird one. Again, this is another like big cozy game where you're literally like doing little cross-stitch puzzles.
Oh, okay.
So they have like, you're kind of filling in like a pattern, but then each one of these, like you see these numbers, it'll be like, okay, well this 3 has to be 3 consecutive things, and this 2 has to be 2 consecutive things. So you have to figure out like how to make the numbers line up. It's hard to tell unless you watch trailer. Even when I was watching the trailer, I didn't understand what I was looking at for a while. Because you can't go backwards.
Yeah.
You can only go in one direction, so you have to fill stuff in.
That's interesting.
And then when you're done, you get a little picture, a little cross-stitch picture. They're also having like daily or like monthly events and like specific challenges where you can go back and replay a thing later on if you want. I don't know. The whole thing is like, well, that seems like a really well-made cross-stitch game. I don't want to play a cross-stitch game.
Like, it's a very great that it's that very specific thing that you've set out to do.
Yep.
But, no.
Not for Jeff from RageSelect.
Like, honestly, that's one where I don't have no idea who actually would play that.
Well, it also, it has some kind of like Sudoku vibes to it, right? Like where there is kind of, or a Picross. Some kind of Picross vibes to it, right?
That makes sense.
So I could see that being a thing. I don't know, man. A couple weeks back, I found a website that had a bunch of puzzles on it, and I did some puzzles in a browser window. Like, sometimes you just feel it, you want that kind of game.
And not puzzles that like frustrate the shit out of you,
right?
And so I could see that.
And all the designs are very cute.
Yeah,
they're very cute, and it looks nice. It looks like actual thread.
My holiday bears. Sorry, that's a very specific reference.
So yeah, that was out. That's already out. So by the time you hear this, it'll already be out.
Okay.
Let's see. What's our time looking like here? Oh, we still got some time. We got a game called Bzzzt, which is like a little platformer where you play as a little tiny robot and you're kind of doing platform stuff and action. This is the montage, so they don't say that much
section.
about it. I actually think this looks really cool. This bzzzt game.
Yeah, it's got a really great art style and it's got great art animations, unlike that fucking. Like that other game we were talking about.
Oh, the Way Forward one?
Yeah, which is a shame because like if you would have told me Way Forward made this, I would be like, no, that makes sense. And told me another company made the other one, I would have believed you.
Right.
Which is not a good thing.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah. Let's see. We also got Schism, which is like a puzzle game where you're like a little shadow monster that's jumping between shadows. So you can only move between different shadows, and you've kind of got like some limited stuff for that. We got another look at Animal Well, even though that's almost out.
It's like Donkey's game.
Yep. May 9th is when that's coming out. And Duck Detective, The Secret Salami.
Duck Detective has a game?
What's that?
Sorry, I just made a Gravity Falls joke.
Oh. No. This game looks awesome, and I love it. I showed it to Amanda, and she was like, I have to play that game. Where it's like you're a duck detective, and you're trying to figure out who stole the salami from the break room, and it's very silly, and there's a bunch of animals that work in an office, and it's like all hard-boiled and stuff. You have to make deductions and deductions and stuff.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. And we got a release date for that of May 23rd. But yeah, this is one I'm actually excited for too because it looks absolutely fucking ridiculous. And then another Crab's Treasure.
Yeah, it's still happening.
Yep. It's coming out at the end of the month, April 25th. Just a reminder to everybody that shit's going to be on Game Pass.
Yep.
So.
It got delayed, didn't it?
I don't think so.
I remember us having a story about it, and I don't remember why.
Oh, wait a minute. I think it did get delayed. Yeah, I'm starting to remember that now, that it did get delayed, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, I can't remember why either. I just remember it being like a thing people were talking about for a bit.
Yeah. And then finally, to wrap up this, we got the announcement of SteamWorld Heist 2.
Okay.
This one is, the last one was like a spaceship one. This one's like a kind of a pirate and undersea adventure thing where you're playing as like a bunch of SteamWorld dudes, but in like a little ship that can also go underwater. The water in the world is killing robots.
Huh.
So you're trying to figure out why, and then it's got the kind of turn-based 2D action combat. You put a bunch of hats on robots. I'm not entirely sure, Michael, if I think that the SteamWorld series has the legs to be able to keep doing this shit. Because
I'm always surprised it's gotten this far.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I've never met a person who's like, SteamWorld's my favorite thing. Like,
right.
I've never met anybody who's ever said that.
Right. Yeah. I keep, like, the last couple of games I keep meaning to play. Like, we played that
build one.
The city simulator.
Yeah.
And I was like,
that was kind of
neat. Yeah, but neat enough to play?
Yeah, that's
no.
But that's what's weird about it. It's like they keep making them, and none of them are the same.
Yeah.
Which makes me be like, who are these for?
Right.
Like, I don't understand who's playing these and how you keep making these.
Yeah.
Like, good for them, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. I don't know who it's for. I don't know the answers to your questions, Michael.
I generally don't.
And that's coming out on August 8th. So, yeah. And that was the Nintendo Indie Direct. There was a couple of interesting things in there, but it wasn't anything like huge.
Some solid stuff.
Yeah.
Some weird stuff, but the kind of things that you expect from an indie type showcase.
Yes.
And it's and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Yes. Hey, we're ahead because that was an Indie Direct.
Oh, really?
And we didn't talk to a lot of stuff. So, okay, let's do this before we take a break.
Okay.
TakeTwo laid off 5% of their workforce.
I'm shocked,
last week.
Jeff. Shocked that Take-Two would do something so horrendous.
Yeah, because Strauss-Zelnick is friend to children and animals everywhere, right? So he does not eat the blood of babies, allegedly. So the company has 11,000 workforce, and they're laying off 5%.
That's huge.
That's pretty big. That's what would that be? The one that's 1,000 people is like 500 people.
Yeah, which is a lot of people.
500 and change. But I have a new take because TakeTwo, they put numbers out.
Oh, okay.
Which was really strange because they talked about how much they were going to, because they also canceled a bunch of projects as well.
That is interesting.
And they talked about how they were going to save 160 to 200 million in total charges for the game development, and they expect 40 to 60 million to result from future cash expenditures. So the total charge approximately 120 million to 140 million related to title cancellations. Okay, now this is one. Okay, 120 million to 140 million related to title cancellations. So they're going to save 120 to 140 million from title cancellations, right?
Yeah.
And approximately 25 million to 35 million associated with employee severance and employee related costs. Approximately 15 million and 25 million related to office space reductions. So if you add up the top end of all of those savings, you get 25 plus 25 is 50 plus 140 is $190 million. Let's call it 200. All right. I looked up how much Take-Two made last year. Take-Two made $5 billion last year.
Oh my God.
Saving $200 million is nothing.
That's nothing.
That is nothing.
It's a drop in the hat for them.
Yes. This, to me, that math is the clearest example of the shareholder disease that is happening in the video game industry right now.
100%.
The only reason to cut $200 million worth of costs out of a company that's making $5 billion a year is that, like, you want your profit margins to go up so your stockholders are happy.
Yeah.
And so you're going to shove 500 people out the door to make your stockholders happy. Not because it makes any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. $200 million in savings in a $5 billion company is like nothing. It's less than nothing.
Yeah, Take-Two is the publishers of some of the largest franchises in the world.
They are currently acquiring Gearbox.
Yes.
They're purchasing Gearbox. Like, this is not what you do when you have to, oh my God.
Funny thing enough, though, they're the only reason Duke Nukem Forever came out.
Strauss Zelnick got $40 million in bonuses last year.
Jesus Christ. Fuck that guy.
Like, are you kidding me with this? Like, you're going to be saving. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe my math is wrong, Michael. Maybe $200 million was wrong. Okay. Quadruple it. $800 million.
Still nothing.
Like, it's still like you guys could keep these projects on the books. Like, they could pay dividends. Like, there's no reason to be doing this shit outside of making your shareholders happy. And that's, like, to me, the thing is that I get on my high horse sometimes about, like, Taco Bell is, like, shitty for people.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, the only reason that we're letting Taco Bell slowly give us all heart disease is so that the guy that runs Taco Bell has more money. And here it's like, you're putting 500 people out on the fucking streets just to make your goddamn investors happy? Like,
yeah, because even
it's real human cost, man. Like,
yeah.
I know that I talk about this for so long, you get desensitized to it, but fuck, dude.
Well, yeah, because the worst thing about it is this is in capitalism in general, is that even if they made $7 billion instead, they still would have done it.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like they could have, because it keeps happening. Like there's always a news story. Like, we had a record-breaking profits. Like, that's fantastic. So what'd you do for the employees? The who?
Right.
Oh, we got rid of like 300 of them, and then we saved even more money. It's like, fuck you guys.
Beginning of 2022, Microsoft laid off like 1,000 people. Right.
Yeah.
$3 trillion company valuation. You could have started new teams. You could have shuffled those people around. You could have just been a fucking person and been like, I know we had to destroy the HoloLens division because some asshole C-suite guy who still works there put too many eggs in this basket.
Yeah.
But, like, don't punish people for management's failure. Like, how many VPs do we need to fire to hit the same revenue target of, like, programmers and artists? Because the problem here is it's okay, either management did something stupid and it's their fault, or they're poor managers who didn't see the writing on the wall, in which case it is also their fault.
No.
Right? Like, they're not going to fire Strauss Zelnick, Bobby Kotick, or Yves Guillemot, but surely there's some middle managers where you can find somebody that's making 5 times the amount that your fucking, like, programmers are making and get rid of that guy and keep 5 programmers. At the bare minimum. Like, or I would even settle for they fired, like, 10 programmers and 3 VPs. Like, even if you had to do that, do it like that, right? Like, I don't ever see these things coming down to, like, the people that made these goddamn financial decisions in the first place getting axed for this.
It's frustrating.
And with these companies that are so big, and Take-Two is not suffering.
No.
Like
the guys who publish Grand Theft Auto are not a suffering company.
Yeah, like last week, what's his face from Larian? Not the main guy. There's one of the guys from Larian that I was talking to. I think it was like Steven Totila or something like that. He was just like, if these companies were in trouble because of the financials, you would see one of them go out of business because of this, right? If they were in such dire straits that they had no choice but to axe 500 people, then some company would just go under because the market was so bad that they could not continue. But that's not happening.
No, not a single one of them. Oh, actually, the closest may be Bungie, but that's kind of funny.
Well, I do have I've got a really stupid story for when we come back from break about a company that is going under for dumbass reasons. But it doesn't seem like it's the financial reasons.
No.
And the thing is that if Take-Two can't fucking hold on to a few people and figure out a new way to go, if you're going to dissolve projects, that's great. Start new projects. Take-Two is. They let Ken Levine dick around there for a decade with his team just coming up with BioShock 3. That game is just BioShock 3. And you're going to be firing a bunch of people. But why?
It doesn't make any sense, Jeff.
Every time I read this, I feel like the guy from Galaxy Quest, the alien guy, when he's just like, but why?
That's true, yeah.
Anyway,
it's just
I was reading this story and I finally saw these numbers and I was just like, oh, let me just look up what the actual numbers are, and it was like, this is nothing. This is a drop in the bucket, and it's just there to make an extra 5% on your balance sheet because you suddenly get a boost from not having to pay those people, and it looks like profit. So, fuck them. That's right. That's what I'm ending with. Fuck them.
Yep.
Let's take a break. I got another story though. When we come back, it's going to be a doozy. All right, so stick around, everybody. And we're back. Michael, it's time for a stupid story. Are you ready for the stupid story?
I think I am. I know part of it, I think.
Okay, so there is a company called Possibility. There was a company called Possibility Space.
Yeah.
This company was founded by Jeff Strain, who was a co-founder for ArenaNet and Undead Labs, and his wife. And so a while back, they had a holding company that created this studio. There was another studio called Crop Circle Games. Crop Circle Games was working on a game 2 months ago. I don't know if this even made it through over my news desk. They got shut down.
Okay.
When they were shut down, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle because this guy, the owner, basically came out and said it turns out that they were doing really good work, but what players want has shifted, and this game isn't going to be it wouldn't work, right?
Okay.
And they'd done 3 years worth of development on it, but then they shut it down. The actual studio head went on LinkedIn and was like, no, well, if that happened, wanted to emphasize that if that happened, that it was one, they thought that the game probably would have been fine, and two, that if that happened, they wanted to make sure that it wasn't framed as though it was a problem with the people that made the game. If that was a problem, it would be the people who created the idea in the first place and had a company working on it, as opposed to this. So anyway, fast forward to today. There's another company owned by the same guy called Possibility Space. There was a company owned by this guy called Possibility Space. Apparently, what's the guy's name? Ethan Gach. I just want to do it like the Star Trek worms. From Kotaku.
I think it's Klingon.
Emailed Klingon. Yes, what did I say?
You said worm?
The Klingon worms, that's the food.
You just said worm, though. You didn't say anything else outside of that.
Yeah. Emailed this guy and wanted to get a comment about a story that was going to run. And they had a lot of information about the shutdown of that previous studio and a lot of internal information about what was happening with this new studio, as well as financial information. Apparently they had profit and loss statements that were going on. So basically this Jeff guy, he said, no comment. Then immediately from his story said he went to the publisher that had invested in the game, and the publisher said that with this leakage, they were not comfortable putting in the remaining amount of money that would be needed to get this game over the finish line. And so this guy just dissolved the studio instantaneously and was like, okay, everybody's fired. And like everybody in the United States, this is your like, okay, the company is gone. The end. Here's your last paycheck. Everybody overseas, we've done all of the like notice to fire stuff that, you know, civilized countries require that you do instead of just like throwing people out on the front with like a cardboard box full of your shit. So I don't know. Okay, so that's what happened. There's got to be some shady shit going on here.
Oh, like, yeah, 100%.
There's got to be some shady shit going on here because the biggest question I saw this one person on Twitter that made a really good question was like, first off, most publishers, you know, unless it was framed in a really weird way, like, why would somebody's leaking information from inside of your company? But if your game is going to make money, at the end of the day, it's money, right? What publisher is going to be like, no, I've already invested 3 years worth of development. I don't want to invest anymore. I guess we'll call it a sunk cost, shut it all down.
Yeah, so I discovered this on Twitter at one point, and originally it hadn't turned into what it was originally.
Yeah.
Originally it was just the guy being like, hey, I lost my job at Possibilities Place. Please, like, keep us in mind for work. And then a few hours pass. And then the guy's like, so I got the most unhinged email about our firing.
Yep.
And like in the Kotaku, there was about an article that had never even published.
It wasn't published. Yeah, it never came out.
Like because the writer of the Kotaku article was like, yeah, we were still working on that. We never did anything with it.
Yeah.
And I remember reading the email, or at least the parts that they posted about it. And I was like, no, this is a crazy person kind of thing. Like, because I don't know if it has it in there or not, but it was very much like it was about people leaking or something like that, and but blaming them in a way. I can't remember the exact wording.
It was all framed around like, well, how can we continue to have this company when people are willing to talk to the press?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
The Jeff guy, apparently there's some kind of medical thing with his wife, and so they were like, oh yeah, we're shutting this down. I'm going to focus on my family and my wife's health moving forward. Other people have pointed out that, like, you know, when most indie developers, when like they lose a publisher, there's usually a point, depending on how done the game is, where they'll kickstart it, or they'll find another publisher, or they'll shop it around. They'll take it to GDC, which is happening like right now, or was happening.
Something like that, yeah.
But even if it's not happening, you can still shop it around. If you're like a business owner, you can shop it around other publishers and see if somebody's interested in throwing money at it. And apparently none of that happened. So what I'm assuming was that the article that was about to come out was an article about how shit this person is.
Yeah.
They canned this other studio for no good reason because of management failure, and then they were just like fucking around with this other studio. I don't know any of this. This is all alleged. I don't know any of this. This is all just conjecture on my part.
Well, that's what's interesting about it, is because it's such a nuclear reaction to the idea that an article might come out about you, because again, it never happened.
Right.
That might come out about you, meaning there was something shady happening, and we just decided, fuck it, I'm gone.
Yep.
Instead of having people like call him out on it,
right?
Which is fucking weird as shit.
Like, here's a speed bump, and then the result is just like, I guess burn it all down, like you know. And it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on.
Like he was driving and he hit the speed bump, and in his mind the whole car exploded.
Right.
He's like, everybody out of the car.
Right.
And then he just fucking like set it on fire, and he's like, well, that's the end of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, what the fuck, dude? That car was working fine. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah. What I mean, I don't know why I would have expected anything different, but I also went and looked through all of the tweet replies on this. There were a lot of people that were just like, whoa, looks like the employees there fucked around and found out. And it was like, well, look, guys, even if an employee at this company did leak confidential information, even in a small company, there's not just one guy.
No.
Like, if it was just one guy, then that was something. But, like, this company had actual employees. So, you know, you're punishing everybody for this one thing. The only thing I can think of is that, yeah, this guy is retiring ahead of time so that when whatever information comes out, it's like, well, you can't demand his head because he's already closed the company and retired and deleted his Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So
he clearly had something going on that he didn't want anyone to find out about, and now he's left this mortal coil.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
It's insane.
It's so weird that's such a weird response.
It's like out of all the shutdowns from companies, it is the weirdest one.
And like if it was something personal about the guy, right? Hire a new manager.
Yeah.
Just put somebody else in charge and be like, okay, I'm going to put somebody else in charge. I'm going to delete my Twitter account. I'm going to issue an apology and on LinkedIn, and then I'm just going to fucking go to Hawaii, right? Like,
he's just fucking bailed. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
Like, there's some cost, and there's some. I mean, unless these two companies were making the world's shittiest video game, like that's the only thing that makes any sense to me is if they looked at the games, they were just like, oh, this is like asset flip. Trash tier Steam game, but like if each one of them had done years of work, it's like, damn man, you gotta throw all that away for fucking nothing. Like,
dude, that other company that absolutely made a scam still released their obviously scam game.
Yeah,
and you guys just decided not to. Like, you look even worse than the people who made what the fuck was the name of it?
The day after. Yeah,
like you made
the day before. Whatever
you made even them look good, which is not an easy feat. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. Hey man, if anybody knows what's going on, you let me know. All I'm saying is that like this reeks of some shady ass shit, and the unless there's something, I'm always open to the idea that there was something else going on that I didn't know about. But the only thing that makes sense to me at this point is that there was some like serious fuckery, and this guy's like, okay, I'm just gonna get out in front of it, fuck it all type of thing.
It's not even get out in front of it. He's just leave.
Right.
Like that's what's interesting about it.
Yeah.
He just fucking left.
Yeah.
He took his ball and went home.
It must be nice if you run a company and you're going to be accused of like some kind of corporate malfeasance. Just be like, I declare bankruptcy.
Yeah, and then he left.
And then just throw a Molotov cocktail through the window on your way out.
Ninja vanished. And he just fucking disappeared. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. What the fuck was that? Come on, you guys. What the fuck was that? Let's see. Speaking of dumb shit that CEOs do, last week we got this interest. Okay. This is okay. I talked a little bit about this on the Armored Core playthrough that I did with Matt, because I think that there's an explanation for this that people aren't necessarily understanding. So, but let me tell this story. Mike Ibarra, who was he was one of the heads of Blizzard, and then he was the only head of Blizzard, and then he left Blizzard. Yeah. He went online and basically he made this statement. Okay, and I don't think that the statement. I think that this statement starts out as like something that you thought at 3 a.m. and put on Twitter. You didn't think it all the way through, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but here it is.
Well, reading what he actually wrote, yeah.
What he basically said was like, oh, here, I'll just read it. I've often thought, I wish I could give, he's talking about when he finishes a video game, he says, I've often thought, I wish I could give those folks another $10 or $20 because it was worth more than the initial $70, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. And so the idea here is you get to the end of a game and you're like, oh my God, Elden Ring, game of the year. And then you have the ability to go online and be like, what, I'm going to buy the DLC, the cup of coffee DLC that gives the developers $20.
Compliments to the chef.
Right, exactly. Now, I don't know how many people understand this, but like, to me, this reeks of somebody with money. Somebody who doesn't think like that spending a little bit extra money makes any difference, right? Yeah. Like that doesn't go to get takeout food and see the suggested tip of 30% on takeout Chinese food
and doesn't question it.
And then they're just like, yeah, whatever, man. Fucking compliments to the chef. I've got 30%, whatever. What's an extra $30? But then there are those of us that are like, I do not have an extra $30, my man. Like, I don't care how good Elden Ring was. I paid you $70. You got $70. Thank you very much for a good game. Merry Christmas. Yeah. That's
you're lucky I bought it at full price kind of thing.
Right.
It's the joke we use forever and ever.
Yes.
It's just a banana, Michael.
Right.
What does that cost?
How much could it cost?
$10?
So then you get into the further thing of like, if this as everybody who's paying attention to the world and doesn't have a lot of money and does think that $30 is a lot of money goes, if this became a normalized thing, it would be used to cut developer salaries and make them reliant on tips.
100%.
That is why the tipping right now is out of control, is because you can pass, like you should have given your your employees more money and cut corporate salaries or whatever, or charge more for your product or whatever. But instead of doing that, you basically increased your prices through guilt to the customer.
Yes.
Like, that is what is happening right now. I cannot believe the other day I was going to go order barbecue from a place and it had the tipping thing, and it used to be like 5, 10, 15.
No.
It's like 30, 28, 25. And then the last time it used to be 25, 28, 30. And then I went to this one website where they had flipped that around and they had selected 30 by default. So you had to like do, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I am driving there and picking this up 30%. Are you kidding me with this?
It doesn't make any. A lot of them don't make as much sense, and everywhere you go, it's there now.
Yeah,
like you can't get away from it anymore. It's like I just want to buy the thing.
Right.
Like I don't want to tip everybody. Because some of you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why I need to tip you for all this stuff.
Or I'm not to get too far off on a fucking Reservoir Dogs rant here, but like I paid for the food.
Yeah.
And I didn't go there. Nobody had to refill my tea. Nobody to give me a menu. Nobody to bring me a check.
Yeah.
I paid for the food. I went to go pick it up. I'm willing to give you like 10% gratuity, but like 30%?
Yeah, I'm not giving 30% for here's your food, thank you for coming.
Right. Like, I mean, I would give you 30% of, I would give you like 30% of zero, or I would give you money, but that's what I just did, was I gave you money for the food. The
Yeah.
money's supposed to cover the food as well as the employees, as well as everything else.
If I'm dining in, then yeah, I could, and if I thought it was a really good experience, I might give you 30%. But for the most part, if I'm picking it up, stop asking me.
Yes. But so I do think that this was a little bit less innocuous than people made it out to be. Like, it was a great story for content on the internet.
Like
right?
the way he words it, he thinks it's like he thinks it's a charitable idea.
Right.
You're like, you know what, it would be great to like to tell the people that you bought this game from that, hey, I think you're great, here's $20.
Right.
Like, I'm like, no, don't, like, people are going to take that the wrong way, and they did, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
I've got nothing else.
It's a fine idea. The problem is that it then goes from an idea to something that's expected, and then it goes from something that's expected to then being factored into the cost of the game. And so Capcom doesn't have to raise the cost of their game because they could just guilt trip everybody into paying they could guilt trip everybody into paying $90 for a game instead of $70 because it's expected for you to give them an extra $20.
And not only that, the only reason tipping works is because tipping works due to the way it is the individual.
Right.
And so if you made a game a tipping thing, there's no guarantee it could be Immortals of Avium, where like they put millions into the game itself,
right, and then it bombs
and nobody played it, so who's going to tip that?
Right,
who's going to tip these people?
Right,
so they don't make the more amount, because it reminds me of the story of South Park guards were reopened Casa Bonita, and they wanted to just pay them a flat fee instead of so they didn't have to do tips, but they're like, but I want my tips because we're a very popular restaurant, and there's people we know by default the hundreds of people are going to come and we're going to get a shit ton of tips, right? So a lot of those people know what they're getting into in those cases.
Yeah,
developers don't have that luxury.
No,
they don't know that they're going to be the next big thing.
Right,
that's never going to happen that way.
Yeah,
and so the idea of tipping would be dumb. I know we're going on about something that and everyone knows is stupid as shit.
Yeah,
but we want to emphasize how fucking stupid that idea would be.
The thing is that I don't think it came from I don't think it's a bad impulse.
No,
the idea that if
naive.
I play something and it's very good, like, oh man, that was even, I played Elden Ring for 200 hours the first time I played it. Like, I can actually imagine going like, that was fucking amazing, you guys, you did a great job. Let me go to the PlayStation store and pick the like $10, give them an extra $10.
The thing is, people already do stuff like that with their DLC. People were talking about that with Helldivers too. Mm-hmm. They're like, I liked Helldivers so much, I bought the Super Citizen Edition.
Right.
Like, there's people saying that stuff. That's that's a fine thing because you get something for that.
Yeah.
But this is like, no.
Yeah.
If anything, what I want to do is I want to do the thing that Johnny Depp does in fucking Once Upon a Time in Mexico. It's like every time I think it was eggs or something.
Oh God,
it's so good.
Yeah,
that I go into the back and I kill the chef. Like, if anything, that would be fun.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Or at least
I get something out of it, at least, Jeff.
Oh
That's
my
what I'm
goodness.
saying.
Oh, my goodness. Well, speaking of money hungry, you sons of bitches, Overwatch 2 came out with a new... Okay, so, Michael, you remember how Overwatch 1 was, where you could buy loot boxes, you open the loot boxes, you get the stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then Overwatch 2 came out, and they were like, no more loot boxes. It's a battle pass. The battle pass, you know exactly what you're going to get. You're going to do blah, 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 blah. You're going to unlock things via battle pass. But they were too greedy with their battle pass. People hated it. So they're like, okay, we're making it so that the heroes in the maps, you get those by default. There's still going to be a battle pass, but you could do whatever. Well, now they've introduced a new thing called Mythic Skins. These are very specific skins that you don't just buy the skin, you buy the skin, and then the skin levels up 4 times to get to a specific thing because it gives different variants of like, colors. Yes. And these can only be purchased with mythic prisms, a new currency that you can buy with real money. So you could buy 10 mythic prisms for $10. You could buy 50 mythic prisms for $40. You could buy 100 mythic prisms for $80. A base level mythic skin costs a base level mythic skin costs 50 mythic prisms.
Oh my
$40.
God.
A fully upgraded skin costs 80 mythic prisms, or around $70.
Oh my God! What the actual fuck?
So the base is 50, and then it's $10 per level to get it up to level 4 because they level up. And then they're putting a bunch of different skins up for every season. Jesus, Blizzard. Okay, we're not made. I know who I'm not going to tip. I know who's not getting a tip this time. Actually, I want to speak to your manager. What the fuck is this?
This is
Mythic skins.
Stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Mythic,
Yep.
Each skin is like 50 to get it.
It's like it's
so
like $40 just to pick it up by default.
Can you unlock these in the game at least? By that I mean the currency, the prisms.
Okay. Yes. You can. The battle pass will now pay out enough mythic prisms that if you play through the entire battle pass, you should get enough for one of the base ones.
Jesus Christ! Just one.
Yes.
Fuck you.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh man, I thought every time I think Overwatch is dead, they shoot it again, and I don't understand how they keep killing the same horse.
Yep.
I don't get it. How do you keep pulling this off?
Let's say oh no, okay, never mind. Let me just make sure that I'm right about this. Okay. Never mind. Okay. If you purchase the premium battle pass, which you could do with money or with the coins that you earn in the game, because you can earn Overwatch coins in the game. So you can buy the battle pass with your V-Bucks, your Overwatch V-Bucks. If you buy the premium battle pass and you complete up to level 78 out of 80 tiers, you will get enough to purchase and fully upgrade one mythic skin. Don't you want to devote your life to Overwatch too? Michael's covering his face. I
don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. I never played Overwatch 2 anyways, but somehow they make me more upset about a game that I don't play, and I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep doing it, Blizzard. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Did you like how many words it took for me to explain how that worked?
No. Oh my God. Overwatch, what have they done to you?
What hath you done, Overwatch?
Every time, like I said, every time I thought they killed it again.
Yep.
Like it's like watching a corpse keep consistently getting shot.
Yep.
In new and creative ways.
Stop it. He's already dead.
He's already dead. He's already dead. Yep. And you just keep somehow making it worse.
Yep.
I don't understand how you did this.
No, you remember when we had the story where they were reverting back to you just get the heroes, right? And we're like, oh, good, you've come to your senses, you've gone back to the way things were, and they were like, yes, but now we've added some new fuckeries that you have never heard of before, and it's like, okay, great,
the humanity, Jeff.
So now there's a battle pass, and you got to buy loot boxes.
Did they ever change the hitboxes back, or are they still stupid as shit?
I don't know about that. I don't have a story about that.
This fucking Overwatch. Fuck you, Blizzard. I don't fuck.
Hey, now
Fuck.
watch out, because you're also going to get banned if you use that language in Overwatch 2.
Come on.
There was a tweet storm last week where apparently somebody got banned for saying fucking shit in Overwatch.
Oh my god.
And when they contacted Blizzard customer service, they said, well, it's always been that's always been against the rules. It's just whether anybody complains or not.
Oh.
So apparently they found out that like in the actual code of conduct at the very beginning, it says like you're not supposed to use profanity in Overwatch. But the thing is, they don't enforce it unless anybody complains.
Sir, this is a Christian server. I need you to get out of here.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah.
My favorite response of this was somebody tweeting back at Blizzard customer service asking them to explain what the BAMF on McCready or what's his face Cassidy's belt stands for. Like if profanity isn't allowed on Overwatch, or how like there's a lot of characters that swear in like emotes and stuff in Overwatch. It is not a Christian E for everyone game. So yeah, hey, be careful when you're playing Overwatch. You might just get banned for saying fuck on the wrong server. I mean, just like how is this not open to abuse, right? How is this not open to abuse of just like I want somebody banned, I'm gonna hang around until they say a swear, and then I'm gonna report them.
So here's the fun thing. I think it wasn't used for abuse because no one knew they could do that.
Yep.
And now that they do, it's going to be.
Yes. Very, very true.
And I can't wait for that news story to come up.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Also, Jeff, it stands for Boy and Mother Forever.
Sure.
You know, like because to show the parental love of
a cowboy and
his mom.
And his mom.
Yeah.
Speaking of dumb corporate stuff, I think this is a tempest in a teacup, to be honest. So Star Wars Outlaws came out last week, and they announced that they started accepting pre-orders. So they had to tell you what's in the pre-orders.
Okay.
And in the $130 version, the Express Super Deluxe Edition, or even the $100 edition, they said the battle pass, or the season pass, including Jabba's palace blah 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 mission.
Okay.
And people initially, I believe, took that to mean all the Jabba content is locked behind the season pass.
Yeah, the internet was very, very adamant that was what it meant.
Yes. But Ubisoft actually came out and said, no, this is one mission out of the Jabba thing.
Oh, okay.
It's called like Jabba's Gambit or something. The rest of it, there's a bunch of Jabba missions. There's just one that is a pre-order, like season pass exclusive. And so I actually think like, because I think I saw a lot of people that were just like, up in arms. And I'm like, guys, Mass Effect 3 was the first game to lock
the first really big ones
this behind like pre-order bullshit bonuses. Like, this is not a new thing. I can understand it if it was all the Jabba missions, but it's not all the Jabba missions.
Well, I think that was the reason people were upset originally, because they thought it was.
Yeah. And
now knowing that it's not now, I'm like, okay, well, this just means it's a random. It probably isn't even all that interesting of a quest or something. It might give you like an item that you wouldn't get normally.
Yes.
But if it's not, if it was the whole thing, because that's what I thought it was, because I never found out that they had changed that. I wouldn't be surprised if they considered it originally, and then somebody did bring it up that I know they're going to be pissed about this, and then they pulled back on the idea.
Also, just FYI, as a public service announcement to everybody, if it's a Ubisoft game, don't buy a month of Ubisoft Plus. You get the $130 edition and the 3 days of early access and all of the DLC horseshit for the cost of your subscription. So, like, don't buy the $130. Buy like the $20 1 month of Ubisoft, and then put it on a virtual credit card at privacy.com and fucking put a $20 cap on it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Basically, it's a shame that's like, I don't know. I want it to do well, but at the same time, this is Ubisoft we're talking about. So
yeah. We also got in the rating for Star Wars Outlaws confirmation that Sabak is going to be back in Star Wars Outlaws, because the part of the rating T for teens had like, gambling in it, and explained that it was going to be the Sabak game.
I wonder if there's like a cheating mechanic in there somewhere.
I don't know. That'd be cool if there was. Let's see. We got to go faster.
Must go faster.
Fallout came out on Amazon Prime. Everybody is playing Fallout Now,
Yes.
every single version of Fallout got a huge bump. Like, this is Fallout 4, and this is 1 month. But if you go back like 3 months, you could see how big of a jump.
Oh, that is a massive jump.
Fallout 4 is. The same thing is true for Fallout 76, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. They are all just like popping off right now.
That makes sense. The Cyberpunk had that happen with their Netflix show.
Yep.
I don't think Castlevania did, because that's a very old series to begin with.
There wasn't a game for people to go play.
It would have if it did, I feel. But yeah, there's plenty of shows that I feel like that. Halo did not, but that's because
nobody watched Halo.
No one watched Halo. But my favorite tweet about this is that it was like, for all of you who bought Fallout 4, I'm sorry you bought Fallout 4.
Well, Fallout 4 is also getting the next gen upgrade at the end of the month.
It is, yeah. But they're like, for everybody who's playing New Vegas, mod the shit out of it, or else you're fucked.
Well, speaking of New Vegas, Todd Howard came out and talked about saying that that the Fallout show is actually in canon.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
Which I can't really talk about why that's a big deal, because there's specific stuff that happens in the show, specifically dealing with events that happen in New Vegas. But it's interesting to think of because Fallout is such an unwritten universe that for a lot of it keeps moving forward.
Yes.
Right? So the idea of the Fallout show happening after Fallout 4 and after Fallout New Vegas, it's like, okay, great. You didn't fuck up any continuity. Here's another thing that happened, right? Yeah. Which is pretty smart.
But they weren't sure at the first. That was the thing. People were really weird about it originally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, we found out everybody's character stats from Fallout.
Oh, that's fun.
Because Fallout Shelter, after the show came out, suddenly Lucy and the Ghoul and Maximus and those guys started showing up in Fallout Shelter as people that would come in. And because each one of them has a little stat block, we found out the stats for everybody.
Oh, I love that.
This does answer a question I feel like a lot of people have had. Is that Maximus has a 4 for intelligence, which explains why he's kind of a dumb stupid in the show.
Definitely explains that.
But he's got a 7 in strength, so he's got a 7 in strength and a lot of perception and endurance and agility, but not much intelligence. So
good for them.
Yep.
I think. Question mark.
Let's see. Modders have already put Lucy's dart gun from the
that was quick.
Yeah, into the game. I know that in Fallout 4, there's already Bethesda put out her backpack, the Ghoul's outfit, a few other things. But
that's cool.
This person put this in the game. Well, it's kind of interesting. I watched this little video where the guy puts himself in Fallout to introduce it, where he's like, when I first saw it, I thought it looked like a laser blaster. So he actually made a variant where it can be either a syringe launcher or a plasma weapon.
Oh.
And it's got a bunch of little little cosmetic things in Fallout 4 that you can change around using the weapon customization thing. So
that's really fun. I love modders for being able to do shit like that so fast.
Yep. Also, Todd Howard was asked, "Hey, is there going to be a Elder Scrolls show?" And he said no. And he said he was actually against the idea of a Fallout show for a long time, but then he got talking to Jonathan Nolan, and that they were talking about the idea of a Fallout show, and he really thought that this guy gets it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, there are no plans, but never say never. If somebody came to me with a good pitch and I felt like they loved the franchise and they were going to do it justice, great. I was actually thinking about I don't know if Skyrim or an Elder Scrolls game would work, because Fallout has such a strong brand.
You mean show?
Show, yeah, would work, because Fallout has such
I don't know
a
if
strong...
those games would work either, Jeff. I don't know what to tell you.
I'd rather play Fallout than Skyrim. I don't know about you, but yeah, because they have that weird retro futuristic aesthetic, whereas Skyrim has some fun stuff.
It's kind of it's every other fantasy show. It's kind of is what it would be.
I mean, I guess maybe Morrowind, right? That's all weird. It's funguses and drows and shit. But
although unless the show started with them struggling against crabs, I don't know if I'd believe it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's there. It's the aesthetic is so specific, and if that's the problem with Elder Scrolls. If you did one, it would just be the Lord of the Rings Amazon show or something,
right? Or
it would be any number of those many shows that exist that do that exact thing. Because maybe if they did fucking Starfield, Like that it has that like because
Maybe.
there's not a lot of space shows.
Yeah.
Like so that could maybe, but like I feel like we had a lot of fantasy things for a while.
The thing is that the setting of Fallout is such a character, right? That like ghouls and power armor and stuff. None of that it has to do with the person you're playing as. It's all there, right? Whereas in Skyrim, it's like, well, those are like the difference just between Oblivion and Morrowind and Skyrim. The environments, they're so different. They're like there's not as much of a unifying like aesthetic between them that would, I think, trigger people's nostalgia.
Even the groups within the games aren't that interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, we're the Stormcloaks. We're like those guys, but we wear a slightly different color. Whereas the Fallout guys are like, yeah, we're this specific team, and we're the dudes who are completely covered in power armor, or we're the other guys who always like look like we're just like 1940s people or something. Like there's various, like you can look at them and be like, these are so specifically different from each other that you get why you would want that to be in a, like it'd make more sense for a show or a movie or something like that.
Yep. Is there going to be a Fallout Season 2? Unconfirmed, but the best that I can tell people is that it appears the state of California has said that they would issue a $25 million tax credit to the company that made the first season. So and Jonathan Nolan and Todd Howard both seem like they're up for it.
It's doing well for Amazon. I'm expecting to hear it soon, probably.
And the show ended on a cliffhanger, so if they didn't have a Season 2, that would be some shit right there.
Yeah, but like Amazon doesn't always give new things, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm still upset about the tick to this day.
Right. No, I get it, but I think there's a lot more. I think we're in a good place with this one.
Well, the difference between this and the tick is that this is taken off all over.
Right.
People were talking about it constantly. Even the fans are modding it into things.
Yep.
Whereas the tick, was very. I think it was
niche.
a very specifically niche thing.
Yeah, like my dad watched Fallout 3 or watched the Fallout show.
Yeah.
He didn't watch the tick. Like The Boys, I think was something that took off.
Yeah.
Even though that was a very niche property, but it was so well done that people were like, I want to see more of this.
Well, not only that, it was more obvious what it was parroting.
Right.
Than it would then say that what the tick was doing, kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of movies and TV shows, we've got our Shadow the Hedgehog, Michael.
This was the thing that people have been joking about for a long time.
Yep.
To make Keanu Reeves Shadow for this.
Yep.
And I'm very happy that this is what's happening.
Yep, that's what's happening. Keanu Reeves is going to play the voice of Shadow the Hedgehog. What a fucking world we live in.
I told the story after. I don't remember if I told the story on the review or not for Sonic 2, but I've told the story to many people.
Yep.
When I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in theaters for the screening, the press screening, I was sitting next to Martin and a few other people. And then the after credit scene happens, revealing that Shadow the Hedgehog was a thing.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard that I was crying.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop muttering, the fucking crazy bastards did it. And Martin was looking at me like I lost my mind, because I did. I legitimately was like, how?
Right.
How do I live in a world where I'm going to get a movie with Shadow the Hedgehog in it?
And it's going to be voiced by fucking Neo.
Yeah.
By John Wick.
Exactly. Well, now it's even more absurd than it was then.
Right.
And every time I think back to it, because I was like, I'm getting this movie before I get like a fucking Green Arrow movie or like all these other like characters and stuff that you would expect to have gotten movies by now.
Yep.
But Shadow the Hedgehog
We
is
get three fucking Sonic movies in 5 years.
Yeah. Like, how is this the thing they're getting right? Is Shadow the... I lost it. I lost my shit. I'm starting to lose my shit now because I don't understand how this is the world we live in.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, Jeff.
Hey, man, if you ask me, Shadow the Hedgehog doesn't make sense. Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense to me. But hey, I just...
my favorite thing is I legitimately can't wait.
Yeah. I just can't wait for the memes. That's what I can't wait for.
I can't wait for that,
I
too.
can't wait for the memes.
I've already seen... Well, this was even before they announced it, was like audio clips of Keanu Reeves over Shadow the Hedgehog.
No.
And they were already like... really funny because they kind of worked already. But I can't wait for him to actually do it now.
Nice. Speaking of TV shows, I didn't open this thing. They're making a Golden Axe animated show.
That's such a strange thing to do.
And it's being made by Mike McCann, the guy that made Lower Decks.
Really?
Yes. And it's being co-written by Oh no, and produced by American Dad producer Joe Chandler, and I'm like, I don't know that name, but like, I fucking love American Dad.
Yeah,
even now, even in season 15 of American Dad
is still a very solid show compared to everything else that Seth MacFarlane's
And so I'm
doing.
like, I don't have a lot of huge love for Golden Axe, but I'm like, the Lower Decks guy and the American Dad producer are making a Golden Axe show. I will watch that, because that seems like the sort of thing where it's like, this is so low profile, nobody gives a shit what they do, and it could just end up being like, oh my god, this Golden Axe show is amazing.
I'm actually very excited, because like, I don't know anyone who gives a shit about Golden Axe now, who's like
not even Sega.
Yeah. Like, I don't know anyone in real life who was like, no, so Golden Axe was my favorite game on the Sega.
Yeah.
No, they don't. I'm not gonna say they don't exist, but if they do, they're gonna be very upset.
Yep. All right, we gotta start going faster, and we're gonna start cutting stuff. Let's see. Hasbro came up this week where they're trying to figure out what to do next when it comes to Baldur's Gate, because Larian does not want to be roped into making Baldur's Gate forever.
Yeah.
They've said that they are. This is actually, they're talking about how they're very specifically trying to find the right studio to make it, because a studio with a high enough cachet to make it would already be engaged in another project.
Yeah.
So you would need to get them after that project. Any studio that was formed may not have like the chops to be able to do it. So you may end up getting like a spinoff or two happen before, while they kind of gear up to make it, because obviously they're not going to stop.
No,
they're not going to be like, and then no more Baldur's Gate for another 25 years.
Like, Baldur's Gate 3 made them such stupid amounts of money that the only thing that they're annoyed by is that Larian was like, yeah, we're done now.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, what do we do now?
Yeah.
And so it's like, now, like you said, they can't just ask any old studio, hey, you need to make Baldur's Gate 4, because it's not going to work.
Right.
And they know it. And they know, but they also don't know what they're going to do. So
who would you have make Baldur's Gate 4? I'm trying to think of like an
the problem
American...
is I don't know, because most of the ones that I would have said got shut down after a while.
Tactics, some kind of tactics RPG.
Because
BioWare?
That's the problem. I'd not BioWare
anymore.
now. That's
not
the thing.
anymore.
That would have been my answer 10 years ago.
Right.
But they're not my answer now.
I was like,
where's one of my answers would have been the Desperado guys, but they shut down.
Oh, Me. Yeah, Me actually probably would have been really good at that. Yeah. I almost feel like you'd have to make a new team and just go poach like good people and try to put together a new team from scratch.
I don't know anybody who's good at that at the moment.
Actually, that's what you could do, right? If you were Hasbro, you could go out there and look at all the fucking people that have been laid off and cherry pick like people that have experience with RPGs, put together a thing, find a senior director who's from like a storied studio, like somebody that left BioWare or Bethesda or somebody that has RPG experience, and then put them in charge and give them like the fucking dream team where you just hire in the top people. The problem is that I've seen that happen and it go well, and I've also seen that happen and it goes poorly.
Yes.
So
we have seen both versions of that, and it's sad when it happens.
Make Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 3, you cowards. It turns out, speaking of Larian, this is so funny. The guys that made Blasphemous came out and said that like they just kind of said this out of the blue. They were like, you guys know that Larian like donated like $1,000 to the Kickstarter for Blasphemous and like got us over the finish line, and they never said anything about it, and they never demanded their backer rewards, and they just fucking like dumped a bunch of money on us and then walked away. And it was like, I kind of love Larian. Like,
Larian is proven to be a trustful studio at the moment.
God, I hope they don't turn into Embracer, because I liked them too for a while, but like, I don't think they are. I think they're just like a solid ass group.
Well, the main difference is they still only answer to themselves,
right?
And I think that's awesome. But the problem is that can go wrong depending on the egos.
Yeah.
But that's the fun thing, is that they don't seem to have egos. The closest thing to their egos is you keep showing up in suits of armor to award shows,
right?
But that's like fun ego, and not like I'm gonna murder you in a joust ego.
It doesn't even seem ego as much as like, yeah, man, I paid for that armor. I'm going to wear it to the fucking Game Awards.
But that's what I mean, like, by fun ego, because you're like, I have the ego to buy a suit of armor and be like, I'm going to wear this motherfucker.
Right.
Kind of thing. But, like, it's not the ego of, like, I'm going to wear this and fight my employees to the death in suits of armor.
It's like, Sven, when are you going to wear a suit of armor? Oh, I will wear it. I will wear it. You expense that shit right now. I will show you. And they're like, okay, but if you don't wear it 10 times in 2023 in public, then you owe me $10,000. Like, okay. 2K. Game on, bitch.
It's like, bet, motherfucker. And it's amazing because this is the first Blasphemous.
Yep.
This was ages ago.
Yep.
And even they didn't say anything for a long time.
Yep.
And I have to admit, that's kind of amazing.
Content Warning has sold 1 million copies.
Okay.
Speaking of
for them.
Financial successes. And this is after the 24 hours of free on April Fool's. So April Fool's, the game was free, and you could just go, I told everybody, go get this game.
I don't think everyone knew, I think, is the main thing.
Yeah.
Because I found out from my friend, from a friend of mine, but since everybody's been streaming it, that or what we did, which is we had our videos out for it. I think it really drummed up interest in it, the same way Lethal Company did.
Yes. So yeah, that's 1 million copies at $7 a copy.
Yeah,
because it was cheap. But hey, man, $7 million. I mean, what's the team size on that? It's like 4 guys or something.
It can't be that big.
It can't be that big.
It cannot be that big.
Oh shit. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna save this one for the come into the last one because that one actually has some stuff to talk about. We got some interesting news about Ghost of Tsushima on the PC. So Ghost of Tsushima is about to come out on the PC, but one of the more interesting things about it is that Ghost of Tsushima on the PC will be directly connecting to your PlayStation account and bringing trophy support and PSN like connectivity between the PC version and the PlayStation version. This seems like a no-brainer because the Xbox already does that, right?
Yeah.
With achievements, but it means you can actually earn trophies in the PS ecosystem on your PC when the game comes out.
Huh.
I also have a feeling they're going to backport this into everything.
They should, to be honest. That would be that people would love that.
Yeah. But it's basically just going to be another overlay that runs over the game. So
that's fun.
Yep. And then last, before we take a quick break, in other PlayStation news, we got some interesting information about the PS5 Pro. This specifically has to deal with... okay. Sony came out and they said, what we want the PS5 Pro to do is they're going to use their new upsampling technique, the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, to upsample stuff to 4K. The expectation that they would like is for developers to basically have upsampled to 4K, 60 frames per second, ray tracing turned on as the baseline. However, they said that in order to get, there's going to be like a little PS5 Pro enhanced sticker for the boxes.
Yeah.
In order to do that, it's going to have to be like, okay, a game that is 30 frames per second on the PS5 is 60 frames per second on the PS5 Pro, or something that is like 1440 on the PS5 is native 2K on the PS5 Pro, or something that runs that does not have ray tracing enabled on the PS5 does have it on the PS5 Pro. So I think what they're saying here specifically is that like I mean I don't know, this isn't a statement or anything, but like the expectation here that's being set is like, just because you have a PS5 Pro doesn't mean everything's going to be 60 frames per second in ray tracing. Like, you can do that, and they want you to do that, but you can get the same enhanced sticker if it's just like higher resolution, not necessarily higher frame rate, or ray tracing on as opposed to ray tracing off, which is a little bit of a bummer. Like, I kind of wish that they would have done whatever hardware oomph they needed to do to make it so that it was like we were very solidly in like higher frame rate territory.
Yeah, because a lot of the news coming out about the PS5 Pro is specifically that the up in power is only like a 5 or 10% difference in many places.
Yes,
which in the grand scheme of nowadays, especially nowadays, is not a lot, to be honest.
No,
because the PS4 Pro and PS4 normal was like a night and day amount of power. Same with the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, where this is like, it's not disappointing per se. It's a slight relief to anybody who currently has a PS5 because it's not going to be that much of a difference, but it also is going to be a pain in the ass if you're like, but I want the most powerful one. Right. If you're like, yeah, but you're going to be spending like $1,000 on like something that's only slightly more powerful.
Yes. Yes. I don't know. The thing is that to me it's weird because what it all depends on is that upsample tech. If that upsample tech is like really, really, really good, then it means that developers can start rendering at a much lower resolution and count on that tech to up it to 4K, which means that if I was a developer, that would mean that like your primary focus is going to be, can we get this running at 60 frames per second with ray tracing turned on at like 1080p, and then let that super sampler blow it up if it does it right. But a lot of it's going to depend.
It could be absolutely huge if it does.
Yeah. But I don't know. We won't know until... Where are you, Mark Cerny? Get out here and bore me to death with frame rate math. Anyway, that is it for the news. We're going to do some trailers when we come back. We got one more news story to go. So stick around. We'll be back in just a minute. It's time for part 3. This is the last in the trilogy of RageSelect podcast parts. We had the dark middle chapter, and now we're into like the last resolution.
This is the one with the Ewoks.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Before we get to the trailers, we had an interesting story. Apparently, Nintendo is still out there fucking like laying waste to emulator developers.
Oh, okay. Which, they're... I don't know what you expected from them.
Yeah. Well, this one was a little weird because apparently some developers out there forked the Yuzu code branch and like got their own code branch started. So there were 2 new emulators, Suyu and Sudachi, that were both like running Discord servers and like doing development on an emulator and trying to kind of pick up where Yuzu left off. Apparently Discord nuked their servers from orbit.
Oh my God.
And not just that, but like they nuked the servers and they banned the admins who were like the head developers.
So they can't just use Discord at all.
So they can't use Discord at all. Like one person was like asking Discord like, hey, I talked to my family, like my brothers on this. How do I get my like account? I won't make another server. Like how do I get my account reinstated? And apparently also this was like permaban, no warning. Just like the first email was your server's been deleted and you've been permanently banned from Discord.
Jesus Christ.
So I think that Discord might be like taking this shit a little bit too. They're trying to make examples. They're trying to take this shit seriously because they don't want to get roped. Because Nintendo, friendly fire will be tolerated when it comes to Nintendo's lawsuits.
It's true, yeah.
If you're a Discord server where people are posting like ROMs or firmwares or things, like Nintendo is not going to discriminate between you and the people that are running on the Discord.
Yeah, that's amazing, insane, amazing. But I just picture Discord like sitting there and Super Mario shows up with an AK-47 going like, you're gonna take down those things, aren't you? And he's like and then, like he just doesn't know what to do.
So I always try to think about like every news story that we have and try to think about like there's always something to talk about, right?
No.
And in this case, I think that the thing I want to say is I think that Nintendo's victory against Yuzu was good for them. I think, though, that some of this stuff you need to be careful with because if you're blasting every emulator on Discord and you're blasting them off GitHub and you're blasting them, what happens is they go into like dark spaces where you can't get them, where everybody is anonymous and nobody posts their name and everyone is like, these are like not dark web, but just like places where when you DMCA this new website, a new one's just going to pop up with the same thing because the developers aren't running. They've learned their lesson from like if you keep doing this, then they know you can't put it on Discord. Yeah. You can't put it on GitHub. You can't make a website.
You can't trust the bigger ones. You can't trust the places that used to be easy to find them in.
Right. So then the question comes like, okay, well if there's like what's that horrible Mediafire or whatever, like one of these websites, if I'm posting links to like emulator code on these websites with no additional information, no instructions on how to do them, that is kind of the old way that you did it. And that you kind of get into the whack-a-mole thing, right? Where it's like, well, you can't just blast this website for hosting a file, and here's another website that doesn't host any files, but they'll tell you how to set this thing up, but they're very explicit about like, we host no ROMs, we host no files, we have no information about how this runs on various games. Here are directions on how to set up and run this emulator. And then if you start taking down some websites, you're going to start seeing stuff pop back up. So I think that this could end up being kind of I think it's futile for developers to fight the emulation community just generally. I get why they do it, but I think it's not a good good idea.
Well, it's they're never going to go away. That's the thing. They can sue as many people as they want. They can get as many gigantic settlements out of it, but it's never going to stop them.
Yep.
Like, there's always going to be a guy who's going to be like, I kind of want to see if I can make this work.
Yep.
And every time you win one of these lawsuits, all it does is teach them what not to do.
Yep.
They don't want to, like, when it first started, everybody was peacocking all over the place, being like, look at me and all the stuff I can do that Nintendo can go fuck itself,
right?
And of course Nintendo shot that peacock in the face, and then the next bird showed up and it was like, I'm gonna blend in with the trees, but I also have this really awesome call,
right?
And they're like, well, I know where you are now, so they shot it, and so the next bird shows up and he's like, well, I'm gonna blend in, but I'm not gonna fucking bring attention to myself. But he keeps going back to the bird feeder that everybody else goes to,
right?
And so they see him, they shoot that one too.
You're making Doomsday, you guys. You know how Doomsday got made?
The ultimate baby.
The ultimate baby. You just keep killing the baby, and then you bring the baby back to life, and then you kill the baby. Yeah, you're making the ultimate baby, you guys.
Yeah, you have to understand this, Nintendo.
And here's the thing: is that like PlayStation isn't as litigious about this shit.
They generally don't give a shit.
Isn't as litigious about this shit. Like, PlayStation just tries to make it harder moving forward, right? Like, the PSP was destroyed by piracy.
Yeah.
But the Vita had less problems with piracy. Remember they put out the PS1 Classic?
Yeah.
And it turns out you could just fucking like load ROMs onto it.
Because they left the actual thing inside of it that lets you do that inside of its own code.
Yep.
Which was amazing.
The key. But I don't know that it's worth doing this shit because, again, yeah, like you said, you're making the ultimate baby. So
yeah.
Quit making ultimate babies. Speaking of ultimate babies, Hades 2 is almost coming out. I don't know if there's not babies in that, but it is ultimate. They announced the Hades 2 technical test, and you can join it on Steam right now. This is pretty cool. Apparently, they're doing like a technical test. They're inviting people in chunks, and then they're fixing any problems that chunk of people find, and they're going to do that for larger and larger groups, and then once they feel satisfied that they can launch into early access without it being janky and buggy and shit, then they're going to do that, and then they're going to do what they did with Hades 1 and go through early access and get it sorted, and then the full game will go into 1.0.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a great idea.
I love the idea that you guys are using, like, you're not just using early access as beta, you're actually, that they've realized that, like, you need a fairly finished product on early access if you want to like get a good amount influx of customers.
Yeah.
So, yep. And it looks real good. How do I know it looks real good, Michael? Because they had a 3-hour live stream.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
And I watched of their point. It's a 0.89284 build technical test. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it, and it looks a lot like Hades, but a little different. It's got, you can see here, a mana bar as opposed to just like the mana pips that you would get back.
This looks really great.
It looks a lot like Hades 1, but there's a lot of new things that I didn't know about. Like there's like crafting materials that you can harvest inside of levels now that you can then use. Some of the gods from Hades 1 are back.
Oh, that's cool.
But they're slightly different now because there's like a big conflict happening, so they're like geared up for war, so they've got a kind of more of a war footing in their portraits and stuff. But yeah, some of your faves are back, and then there's a bunch of new ones. They showed off a few of the new gods, like Apollo was in there. It's the main character has a new, very different kind of style. Like they still have different weapons, but then they have weapons. The way that their weapons work is slightly different. The way their mana works is slightly different. It's all very interesting. I mean, it's so funny to me though that it was like, damn, dude, I remember when I was reading Greg Kasavin's reviews of shit on GameSpot, and then that dude was like, if I don't leave this place and start making video games, I'm never going to do that, and left. And now it's like, what number game is this? This is like their 5th or 6th Supergiant game.
It's
like,
quite a bit, and I'm very happy for them that they made their dreams come true.
Yeah.
And also that they made our dreams come true.
Yes. But the big takeaway here is that this appears to be Hades, but more. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, please.
That's all we wanted, to be honest. I feel like the models are updated, too, for the enemies, too.
Yeah, it's slightly better looking. It still kind of has the same design as the previous thing, but they've got some... You can could see how the enemies have like different styles of attacks than the previous ones did. But then the main character also has some kind of different action and stuff. Yeah, like the thing is that I think I said this when they originally announced it, but all I ever wanted from I never thought we would see a Hades 2. No. I never in a million years thought that they would go back.
Need one.
Yeah. Because they've never done a sequel.
No.
Right?
As far as I know, they've never made a sequel to any of their stuff so far.
Because it was Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, Hades, and Hades 2?
I can't remember, to be honest. Like you have a better memory about that than I do. But I generally don't remember the last time, or not last time, I don't remember them ever making a sequel to anything or it. And also, it was such a specific story that I felt like that they wouldn't have made another one.
Yeah. Yeah, Bastion, Transistor, Pyres, Hades, and then they were actually making Hades 2.
Hades 2, yeah.
So Hades went into full... Hades was 2020 was when it went into full release.
Yeah.
But it came out in like 2017 or something like that.
It was a Game Awards thing. Me and you had played it. It was like 2018, I think, something like that.
2018, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
December 2018, Game Awards.
Because I remember we were here, and then you were like, "Oh shit, there's this thing," and then you downloaded it as I was here, and then we ended up just fucking with it.
It was great.
Yeah,
it's great. Go play Hades. Best game of 2020.
Super
Fuck you,
good.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I don't know anyone who didn't like Hades. Who played it.
It's so good. And
in fact, I don't trust anyone who played Hades and didn't like it.
You hear that?
I'm looking at you, whoever I'm pointing at. You know who you are.
Let's see. From there, here's some standard stuff. We got the actual trailer for the Fortnite X Avatar elements.
Yes.
Where you've got it's good that they're making this trailer and then everybody's got like the powers and melee weapons, but you do know that in the game Aang is going to have a machine gun. He's going to be shooting people in the face with a machine gun.
100%.
And it's going to be weird.
My favorite is the meme where it's Aang with the pistol going, "Look at me, Toph, I'm metal bending."
Right.
Guitar's like, "Aang, no."
Yeah, so it's Katara, Toph, who's the fire guy? Zuko, and kind of a grown-up Aang. I feel like I haven't seen that age of Aang because he's either a little kid or he's the old guy in Korra.
They had to do the same with Toph too because Toph was fairly short.
She was a kid, and then she was
everybody to be there like the height that their hitboxes would be. But they can't like put them in armor suits like they did with Morty.
I like the fact that they've got a cabbages emote. I like the little cabbages emote that they've got for it. I'm not a big enough fan of Avatar to actually go do this.
Oh, me neither.
But
everybody's really expensive, and Aang you have to do like a little
sub-quest.
A sub-quest for, and you do all the quests to get the Appa glider.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't care. Like I wasn't I never really got into Avatar the way my friends did.
Yeah.
So I've just kind of been ignoring this season, to be honest.
It's funny. I brought up this trailer and then I didn't realize it was Fortnite until I brought it up. But apparently they put out an Invincible mod for Fortnite.
Yes.
That's about the Sequids. So it's on Mars and it's called Rise of the Sequids. And it's one of those, I forget what they call it. It's like infection gameplay mode where if you're a Sequid and then you kill somebody, then they become a Sequid. And so it's kind of like that whole thing where you're trying to like stave off the infection for as long as possible because the longer you last, the more people are going to be against you, type of thing.
Yeah, because I remember them tweeting out like the code to play this.
Yeah, because it's just a specific island. It's just using UEFS to create like a custom game mode, which is cool.
Fun. Yeah,
yeah.
Because I know Skybound, they only have like a couple of Invincible things game wise, and one of them is like I think it's like a phone game. Keep seeing ads for.
Yes,
I know they want to make a AAA game. But nobody knows what's going to happen with that.
I think there's an Adam Eve like kind of visual novel / light JRPG.
That is still happening.
That's happening.
But they announced that they're going to do like a Kickstarter-y type thing to try to get like a AAA one off the ground. But nobody knows what that means.
It's kind of is it weird to me that I'm just like, why don't you guys just make a third-person action game starring Invincible? That's what I want to play.
That's all we want too. but so they haven't said whatever this new game they want to kickstart off the ground will be.
Yeah.
But my favorite was a lot of people making memes about like when the game finally comes out. It's like, who are you? I am modded character, and it's just like a picture of Superman on it. Because like odds are, if it is a third-person action flying game, somebody's gonna mod it to Superman or any other character in it.
Would you if they sold a skin for Agent Arachnid for Spider-Man 2, would you use it?
Oh, absolutely. People have already modded it in there too.
Oh, okay. I was sure that had happened.
I've considered downloading that mod, but I don't know. But I kind of like Agent Spider's design the more I look at him.
Yeah. Oh, was it Agent Spider?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
At least that's what people say. His name's Agent Spider.
There's going to be a new big Star Wars crossover May the 4th, obviously.
Oh, okay.
In Fortnite.
Yeah.
And not like the meme, like, I'm going to kill you in Fortnite, but no, like actually in Fortnite.
Yes, in Fortnite.
But apparently this one is going to cover all of the modes. So it's going to be in Lego, it's going to be in racing, it's going to be in the Guitar Hero one, as well as the new thing. There's no specifics about what it's going to be. They've got a lot of Star Wars characters in Fortnite already.
They have a lot of them. So that the store's just going to be probably all the ones they have currently. And who knows if they'll add any new ones.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. They got to have at least one. They got to put at least one new person in there.
I don't know who you would put. Fucking
Ahsoka? She's in there already?
She's already in there. Maybe fucking Diego Luna's character.
Andor?
Andor, yeah.
Because he's Cassian Andor?
He's not in it as far as I know.
People really like that Andor show.
Yeah, people really liked it.
I
put him in Fortnite. put the super serious character to Fortnite.
I watched Andor and I kept being like, this is all right, but I don't understand why everybody's so fucking crazy about it. The same way that like I went online and do you know about that anime Frieren?
I've heard of it.
It's like this elf lady, and she's like, it's very human. It's like
I know what you're talking
she
about,
lives forever, and all the people in her adventuring party die of old age, and she goes out to make connections with people. And I literally went to the internet because I kept trying to watch it, and I was just like, man, I like my shonen fucking ninja battle shit. Like this is too like heartfelt for me. And so I went into the internet and typed when does Frieren get good? And I found a Reddit post with that, and I swear to God, I've never seen more aggressive people in the comments who are just like, stop watching it, you fucking Philistine. If you don't think it was good in episode 1, then it never gets any better, and you're just a fucking piece of shit. And I was like, whoa.
People just love those character things sometimes, and that's what it comes down to. And with Andor, it's because it wasn't like the other shows, I feel like, is all it comes down to.
Yeah.
Who else would you put in there? I don't even know who else you'd put in there.
Grievous is in there. You know what you could make is you could make the Gennady Tartakovsky Star Wars Clone Wars skins for Obi-Wan and Anakin.
I absolutely would buy that. Oh my God.
And Mace Windu, like all those guys.
Yeah, that's what they should do.
We got a really quick Overwatch 2 short. This one is not a motion comic. It is animated, but it's also 49 seconds long, and it's about the new character Venture, like searching for artifacts.
And they generally don't give a shit about their new character introductions anymore.
Yeah. It kind of sucks because they seem like an interesting character, but this is 49 seconds long.
That's so lame.
And they paid somebody for this animation. It looks like good animation too.
Yeah, it's well made. It's just that my issue is that like it shows how much the care has gone down for their characters, because they're sure they can have like fun designs, but if they don't have like anything nearly as interesting as just like even the first characters of this game's introduction, then I don't know. What are we doing here, kind of thing.
It's a good question. Well, speaking of what are we doing here, we got the full-on trailer for the Cheech and Chong bundle for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which I do not understand. I do not understand why these two are in here. They are not soldiers.
No. They're also not gangbangers, which is the funnier part.
Right.
More of my friends are discovering that this is a thing, and they're just as confused as anybody else I know.
Okay, good, because I really don't understand these two fucking stoners in the middle of this war zone, and they've got like voice lines, and at some point Snoop Dogg shows up and they're talking to Snoop Dogg, and I'm like,
I joked about that too when they first announced that. By the way,
why would they do this? It doesn't make any sense.
It makes zero sense.
Everything else they've done, some of it, Warhammer 40K, Spawn, Alucard from Hellsing, all that makes sense, but like, is the Iron Giant next? Like, that's the only thing I can think of that would be different, that would be more out of place in here, would be like Gandhi. Is there gonna be a Gandhi skin for Modern Warfare 3? Like,
it makes no sense. Every time I look at it, the worse it gets, because it hurts.
Yeah,
because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe
it's like the Ing thing we were talking about with Fortnite. It's like, yeah, but you're still giving small children guns,
right?
Like you have to understand how weird this is.
Like these are like weirdo stoners. They're not action guys.
No.
Like I don't.
If it was that weird movie where they were twins and they were like. They felt each other's pain or something.
Right.
I could see those characters being in there because those guys actually fought. This is Cheech and Chong, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it would make more sense if Martha Stewart was in here.
Yes.
It would actually make more sense if Martha Stewart was a playable character in Modern Warfare.
Someone who actually went to prison.
Right. Well, and then her and Snoop Dogg, right? They can have like specific lines with
There's
each other.
There's also so many other
like,
characters these two people have played who would make more sense in.
Right.
Like the Spy Kids character that Cheech Marine played, or his character from fucking From Dusk Till Dawn or something.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other characters that he has played. I don't know about Chong. Chong has a very weird filmography, but still. Like, I'm sure there's a character he's played who would kick somebody's ass.
It's just like comedy stoners in your war game.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't
understand.
It doesn't make any fucking
sense. It's fucking stupid.
I don't understand.
Okay.
Let's see. We got the DLC release for Remnant 2, The Forgotten Kingdoms. So they're just making more DLC for Remnant 2, which is great. I'm so happy that Remnant 2 caught on.
I'm very happy for it too, because I told this story before when I went to the one of I think it was Tessa. Tessa had they did that Last of Us Firefly for an art show here in Austin. And I went to go give my support to Tessa. And when I showed up, one of the guys who was there, who was just watching, who was just also looking at the art, he was a developer of this game.
Oh.
And this was literally right after the Game Awards. And so they had just announced the game, and he's like, I can finally fucking talk about this game, because he'd been working on it for a while, and he's like, I'm super excited. He's like, I can't wait till everybody sees it. And I'm very like, I think about that guy all the time whenever I see Remnant 2 do well, and I'm like, I'm very happy because that guy, he really got what he wanted from it.
Yeah. This is the Forgotten Kingdom. It takes place in the kind of like the Fey forest that's in there, and it should be out on the 23rd. So like a couple days after this podcast.
Good for them.
So yeah, cool stuff. Weird trailers this week, by the way, you guys. I don't care about that. Shin Megami Tensei 5 has another character or another trailer called The Sacrifice that shows off more of the weirdo shit that is Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide, Michael, whether to give this game another shot, because one of the reasons that I didn't like it as much was because it was on the Switch and it was kind of like low resolution and a little choppy.
Yeah.
But like the character models and everything, like the art style from Atlas is fucking wonderful.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Like this fucking crazy character where the ink hand comes out of their mouth. Like, what is that? Like, all these characters look absolutely fantastic, and they look like they would be like sharp as hell and really well defined on the PS5.
That's the only reason to really want to play this version. Like, if
well, I mean the DLC, but
because isn't it like also coming out on other things? It's because it is also coming out on the PS5, right?
Yeah.
Because of it?
Yeah. When the DLC comes out, it'll also be coming out on the PS4 and the PS5.
Yeah, but that's exactly like if there were PS5 versions of some of the other games that were only on Switch, I absolutely would play them. Like if Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 came out on the PS5, I would play the whole thing all over again.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. That's kind of weird that it never it was so exclusive.
It was so strange that it was only in Nintendo. Like to this day, I think it's weird that it's Nintendo exclusive.
I would love to play Bayonetta 3 somewhere where it was better frame rate. And
hell, Breath of the Wild or fucking or any of those were on a stronger console, I would fucking play them.
Yeah. But yeah, I love, I mean, like the art style and everything in here is obviously made to be able to work on the Switch, but it's very like clean and sharp.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it is that it looks, and it's just, it's so gorgeous and so weird, and all the weird like demons and stuff look really interesting. So I don't know. I might be interested in trying this out. It's a very striking trailer. It also seems like there might be a new game mode where you're in like it looks like this kind of like lament configuration area, and I can't tell if this is a new character. I don't think that's the main character.
No, it was according to that last cutscene that showed up in the trailer.
Okay. But I'm kind of interested in that as well. So I don't know. I might try to give this another shot. I keep trying to play JRPGs, and I keep getting sick of them after 20 hours. So,
well, the problem is that like we just don't have the time we used to.
Yeah.
And so our time. I'm not saying the word precious because it makes it sound like it's a bad game.
oh, I love this. This little Jack Frost dressed up like the main character. I love
fun.
that. That's great.
Well, the issue is that we have so many games that are out now, and we constantly want to play all the games.
Yeah.
That like adding anything more than 20 hours into something seems more daunting than it used to be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, looks great. I mean, this is on the PlayStation channel, so it's obviously the PS5 version.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Looks really good. Yeah. Coming out June 14th. So
Cool.
Potionomics is getting a Masterwork edition. For anybody who doesn't remember, Potionomics was one of those like potion shop games.
Oh, okay.
But it was also like a dating simulator.
Oh.
And it had really, really great character models, like really expressive character models. It was out on the PC a while back, and then I think it might have been on the PS4, but really, really, really good character models.
Holy
like,
shit.
I just cannot express enough how like well designed and well animated they look, like Pixar characters or something. Like they're very expressive.
Yeah, I love these designs.
And yeah, Matt was completely and totally in love with this. I think I played it with Matt.
I'm not surprised by this at all.
Completely head over heels in love with this particular game. So yeah, coming fall 2024 for the PS5 Masterwork edition of Potionomics. Go watch the trailer if you don't believe what we're saying. Here's a weird one. Many people might not know this, but once upon a time I tried to make Michael and I play Dwarf Fortress. It did not work.
No.
It was too much. It was too much
We didn't
Dwarf
know what
Fortress.
the fuck was happening.
Too much. But you know, when you start a game of Dwarf Fortress, it spools up like an entire history of the world that you're in.
Yeah.
Like it creates a history on the fly. And Dwarf Fortress is about keeping the dwarves alive, but it also has a really complicated like weather and kingdom and like flora and fauna simulations happening. Well, it turns out that they're in a beta right now of like an adventure mode.
Oh.
Where instead of dealing with the dwarf fortress, you could put together a party of characters based on their huge character creator and then like play through it like a JRPG as opposed to like a management sim.
That's kind of fun.
But then all of the story will be generated based on like the history of the world that is generated that you go into.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, well, what an amazing way to take what you've done and turn it into something that should be possible.
Yeah.
But like could end up being like, oh, it's an infinity JRPG that you can always play.
That's crazy as shit.
That gets remixed every time you play it. So yeah, it's really interesting. They're in open beta right now, so anybody can play it. And it's if you've got the Steam version, you can totally do it. There's also like some kind of like it's like a Legends mode where you can basically, it's like a lore hunter thing where you're going into the history of the items in the game. I'm not entirely clear on what that is, but it seems
not sure either,
also very interesting.
But I'm very happy for them because they spent years or decades making this just the normal version. And now that they've finally conquered it, they're like, well, now what?
Yeah.
And I'm happy that they had ideas from here.
Yep, those guys don't ever have to work again.
Yep.
And they're just like, all right, well, let's keep making Dwarf Fortress.
Good for them.
I'm not tired of making Dwarf Fortress yet. Let's keep making some Dwarf Fortress.
I'm happy for them.
So, let's see. We got a full-on... for anybody that's interested in Homeworld 3, speaking of lore, they put out a 4-minute history of Homeworld trailer that covers everything from Deserts of Carrick, that RTS that they put out, all the way to the expansions of Homeworld 2, and explains like what all happened, how the ships got out there, what the universe is, like what the individual factions are, et cetera, and it's all this kind of like motion comic animated style. It is 4 minutes long and very concise, and so if you feel like you can't get into Homeworld because you don't know what the story is, well, there you go. You can get into Homeworld by watching this.
Good for them.
And it's very pretty too. It's very good art style.
Yeah.
Like, I like the way that it looks. Just enough animation to keep it interesting, and at 4 minutes, it's not wasting your time.
Yeah, they announced this a long time ago too, and so I'm glad that's getting closer and closer to releasing.
Yeah.
Like it's been sold. It's so old that, or so the announcement sold. That was also when we were finding out more about the Borderlands movie at the time.
Yeah.
And Randy Pitchford being like, "Oh, here I am with my friends" or whatever. And then every like in between, it was like Homeworld 3, and it would show something from like them talking about it.
I did the schedule for May. Homeworld 3 is there. It may be a problem, but we're going to try our best to dojo it. RTSs are not RageSelect's favorite thing, but I fucking loved Homeworld, so I don't know what to tell you.
Good for you.
I remember Joe and I did the Deserts of Carrick game, and it was like, this is hard. This is hard.
It's tricky.
No Rest for the Wicked is out in Steam Early Access. That's the next one from Moon Studios, the guys that made Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, okay.
This kind of like painterly third-person action game. They got a launch trailer for it. Absolutely stunning. I just, whenever I look at this, I can't get enough of the visual style for this
gorgeous.
game. It's so unique. I've just never seen anything that looks like it before. I don't know. Like, can you think of anything that looks... Like, the thing is that I've seen games that had still art styles that were kind of painterly like this, but nothing where it was moving like this.
Well, nothing that was moving that actually worked, because there were people who attempted it, like, say, Babylon's Fall.
Oh, right.
And they didn't know what they were doing.
I don't think Babylon's Fall looked good even when it was still.
No, but like, you know, like, as they attempted to try to make that, like, they wanted, like, this is what they were wanting to do.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell by looking at this is the exact thing they thought they were doing with it, and they failed miserably compared to this. But this thing is gorgeous.
It's so good looking. It looks really good, and that is out now. We're gonna try to get a video for it out at some point, but yeah. We got the launch trailer for the second Dead Island 2 DLC, Sola, which is like a music festival, like basically a Coachella, but then it's also full of zombies, and the music is making the zombies like regenerate and go crazy and stuff.
That's fun.
And apparently there's like some saw blade there is like a throw a saw blade. There is like a hold a stick with a saw blade on the end of it and saw through people. And then there is some kind of like saw blade launcher that you can do. And all of them look awesome, and I want to play them immediately. I love Dead Island 2 so much.
I'm glad that game worked out.
Yeah. Did you ever go back and play it?
No, I meant to.
It was on Game Pass for a while.
Because I think I went to Game Pass to see if it was there, but I can't remember if it was.
This DLC looks like a big old fucking crazy nonsense, and I just love how unabashedly disgusting this game is.
Yeah.
Like buckets of blood.
I'm really glad the game turned out the way it did.
Yeah.
And I still watch that original trailer every now and then, because it's just
with Jack Black in it.
It's such a fun trailer, but it always makes me wonder, what was that game supposed to be?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Whatever it is, I'm glad that these guys have managed to keep it going. So I'm surprised that the DLC is a thing. I didn't think there was going to be DLC, and there's 2 of them already.
I'm very happy for them, because the fact they got it out is a miracle.
Speaking of Wet and Wild, I saw this trailer last week and I put it in here. This is a horror game called Pools.
Okay,
and so it's like, imagine like an indoor slide, like a water slide, but then like in the back rooms, and it goes on forever, and it doesn't adhere to physics. It's just like these pools with like donuts and water slides and like tile floors, but then like weird geometry that doesn't make any sense.
That's so weird.
Like nobody. This is going to be like a short interactive experience, as opposed to like a big old thing. But like the imagery in this trailer is very striking.
Yeah, it's haunting.
Because it's all like, imagine going to an empty pool in like a gym or something, and everything is wet tile, but then there's also like water slides that don't have any water in them, and like just weird stuff.
AIDS in the pool, everybody out of the pool.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know, this is so fascinating.
It's very evocative. It's very surreal. It's very evocative. It's one of the things I like about horror games on the PC, is somebody just being like, have you ever been creeped out when you go into like the pool at a hotel at a Holiday Inn in the middle of the night?
Nobody is there kind of thing. And that's exactly what it feels like. Yeah. That's
and
fucking nuts.
yeah, it's coming out April 26th.
This Friday, next Friday.
Let's see when this comes out. It'll be the coming Friday. Yes,
That's crazy.
yeah. Psychological horror game. Pools gameplay. Pools is similar to an art gallery where you look around and listen to the sounds. There's no UI, no dialogue, and no music. There are very few things to solve. Practically a few mazes. Sometimes the game will challenge your navigation skills, but mostly you're just there.
I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Which makes it that much creepier.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, is something gonna come at me? No, you're just in a pool,
Right.
by yourself. And
Yeah.
it's fucking weird.
And it's weird. It's some weird shit.
And somehow that's way more terrifying to me.
Yep. We got the launch trailer for Loretta. This is like a weird visual novel / horror thing where it's like a kind of a throwback about this woman living in the countryside, and there's like some crime stuff, and then there's also some like weird psychological imagery going on. And it kind of goes between like this very realistic portraits of people and painterly portraits of people, and then like pixel art. Like it reminds me of there was another game, I can't remember what it was called, but yeah, it seems very weird. I can't tell. There seems like there's some supernatural stuff going on in here, but
There's so much happening that I generally couldn't tell you.
yeah, it's a lot of like flashing between kind of weird scenes.
Yeah. There's like clearly some nefarious shit going on.
So I'm not sure about if we're going to play this or not. I have thought about doing it just because it's like, is this the origin story of our favorite character?
It just might be.
Is this a young Loretta, or is it not going to work out at all? It was called Adios. Have you ever heard of Adios?
No.
It's a game. It's like a narrative first-person game where a gangster comes to a guy's farm to try to get him to let him bury some bodies on his land, and it's very tense. It's kind of like a No Country for Old Men visual novel or something like that.
That is fascinating.
Yeah. I've had it. I think I bought it a few times, but I've never actually played it.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Shifting gears entirely. Michael, do you know about capes?
I think I do actually.
Yeah.
Because it's like an
XCOM superhero game.
Yeah.
And it looks real good. Like it's kind of like this futuristic. It actually looks like it looks a lot like an X-Men game because it appears like people with powers are getting kidnapped or something. And then they've got like, I don't know, like they've got some pretty good character designs. I think that the idea of a tactical superhero game is a good one. As
great, yeah.
Marvel Midnight Suns showed us, like you can have superheroes that are not just press the button to punch somebody.
It was a ton of fun.
I'm wondering if this used to be an X-Men game and it just got the serial numbers filed off.
It's hard to say when it comes to Marvel stuff lately.
Yeah,
but it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, but it looks nice. It's like very clean. It looks good. I like the number of enemies that are on the screen. It seems to indicate to me that you're going to have some like doing big ass attack powers.
Yeah, some really intricate stuff.
Yeah. That's coming May 29th. So
I like that it's just called Capes. It's simple, to the point.
Yep. I'm more about cops fighting crime in a future time, but that's just me. And then the last few, let's see. We have the Nintendo Switch Online. We got some new updates to Nintendo Switch Online. It's very weird. We got Amazing Heberiki by Hudson. This is obviously a Japanese game.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of guys in like animal costumes, some kind of Smash Brawl looking or like Mario Party thing. I can't tell what the fuck is going on here.
I think they're just beating each other up, but I generally don't know what's happening.
Super R-Type.
Oh, nice.
From the Super NES. And last but not least, Wrecking Crew 98. I was unaware that there was another Wrecking Crew game for the Super Nintendo, but there you go.
Well, you know, I guess.
So
it's got like a Yoshi in it. No, that's a Koopa.
That's a Koopa. Yeah. I don't know. It might have a Yoshi in it.
I've never heard of this one, legitimately.
I mean, okay, if Wrecking Crew 98 came out in 1998, I would have been like 2 years out of high school. That would have been really late in the Super Nintendo's lifespan. Like, really, like, towards the end.
This would have been like, the PlayStation would have been king at this point.
Yeah. It would have been real late.
Yeah, it would have been super late into its life cycle.
Let's see. Did it come out in the United States? Published in Japan? No. Okay. So, yeah, I think it was only in Japan. Or wait. having a hard time here.
Yeah, it should mention it in the wiki usually. Like, it usually has the different dates.
No. Okay. Yeah. Japan, and then Switch Online April 11th.
Then just never came. Okay, that explains why we never heard of it then. It would make sense because at that point they're like, there's no reason to translate this at this point, kind of thing.
Yep. Speaking of things that I bet you never heard of, Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle Chomp Champs got a trailer.
I've never heard of this.
This is a battle royale Pac-Man where there's a bunch of people online playing Pac-Man, and it's like whoever's the last Pac-Man standing is the last Pac-Man standing. The crazy thing about this, Michael, this game was released in 2020 on Google Stadia.
Oh.
And nobody fucking played it.
I never even heard of this fucking game. That's kind of interesting.
Yep. And now it's out of the grips of Stadia. They're free to put it out in other places. And yeah, you could buy little outfits for your Pac-Man, and you can play online. And I think we might be past the Tetris 99 phase of our lives.
We are for the most part.
May 9th, we'll be able to find out. So
that's interesting.
It's still weird. It was just like I read the article for this, and I was like, wait, it came out what? When?
Yeah.
Where?
Had no idea. No clue.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with a few quick things. CD Projekt Red has the Witcher 3 Red Kit in beta right now. So this is the full mod kit for The Witcher 3. Up until now, there was a kit that was called the was it called the mod kit, I think? Red Kit, which is a modding tool, the same as... Anyway, they put out a kit before. That was a modding kit. Yeah, the mod kit. So the mod kit allowed you to like basically take everything that was in the game and remix it and do stuff with it. Red Kit is like adding new assets, editing things into the game, direct like editing of the game. So this was the sort of thing they said they weren't going to put one out for Witcher 3. They did put one out for Witcher 2, but now here we are years later, and they're like, nope, it's going into beta. We're going to put one out for Witcher 3. So
yeah, at this point, they're like, look, it's been 10 years. Like, we made the money we're going to make off of this at this point.
Yeah.
So we might as well just let them have it.
Yep. Absolutely. Let's see. In other RPG news, Persona 1 and 2 are almost certainly getting remakes.
That's actually a great idea.
Yep.
Legitimately, because those are very old games.
This was confirmed on Twitter. Somebody said Persona 1 and 2 need a remake more than 4. It's not a hot take at all, guys. I'm pretty sure Atlas knows this too. Let's all take a deep breath. And then somebody on Twitter named Midori responded, yes, P1 and P2 are receiving remakes too. Midori is a leaker for Persona news with a great track record.
Yeah. They
leaked the DLC for Persona 3, as well as I think the Persona 3 remake news entirely. But
that sounds right.
Yeah. So eventually we're going to get all of them Personas in all the places. You have one giant ass Persona thing. Did you see last week that the confirmation Persona 6 is going to be green? Green is the color of Persona 6.
That's
so like,
interesting.
Red was Persona 5, blue was Persona 4, yellow was Persona 3.
Oh, yeah, I guess it was.
And they had a promo picture they put out. They had a protagonist from all the games like lined up against a wall, and to the left of Joker was just a bucket of green paint, and people were like, that means it's going to be green for the next game. People are like, you're full of shit. And they were like, oh, shit, you're not full of shit.
Turns out the main character is Green Man.
Yeah, Green Man. Speaking of Atlas, y'all might want to tune in April 22nd. There's going to be a big Metaphor : Refantasio live stream, which is the next thing from the Persona devs.
Which looks interesting.
Weird as shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. In other upcoming announcement news, PC Gaming Show is back. PC Gaming Show is coming back June 9th, confirmed. Michael, would you believe it if I told you that the PC Gaming Show is now 10 years old and they haven't missed a year yet?
I'm surprised it's 10 years old.
I am too. I remember that first one. It was fucking terrible.
It was horrendous.
It was so bad. They had the talk show table, and it went on for like 4 hours or something. It was so long.
A lot of them were still that bad for a while.
Yep. But it's still the same guy. Sean Day 9 Plot has been like the host of every one of those.
Every time.
They let that one lady with the shark outfit go. It was cool.
She was nice.
Whatever.
I don't remember her name either, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 years. Good for you? Question mark?
All right, speaking of shit that's gone away that should stay away. You'll never fucking believe it, Michael, but someone's trying to get Lawbreakers back up and running.
Oh my god. I saw what's his name tweet it out.
Cliff Bleszinski.
He's like, "Oh, we were bringing it back, kind of." I'm like, "No, don't stop. Nobody cares."
This is the RELB project. This is them trying to set up basically custom servers that then Lawbreakers can run and connect to let people play Lawbreakers. I don't know how to break this to you guys, but Lawbreakers failed because it sucked.
It failed bad.
It was like the big innovation for Lawbreakers was sometimes there's no gravity and there's a dedicated button to shoot behind your head.
That was it.
That was it. Otherwise, it was just a bad Overwatch clone.
It was really bad.
If you want to bring anything back, you guys should bring back.
Cliff Bleszinski took it really hard too.
He got mad.
He lost his shit. That man, it broke his mind.
Yeah. But, he's now got a flourishing, what was it, like stand-up comedy and restaurateur?
I have no idea.
We had that one story where we had all the stuff that Cliff Bleszinski's been doing, and it was just like, he's doing what?
Oh, that's right. It was all like weird shit that didn't make any sense.
He owns a restaurant and he does stand-up comedy on the weekends? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it broke his brain. He doesn't like games anymore, and I think that's kind of funny, to be honest.
Yep. Michael, I put this one in here for you. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had a big song. A big kind of song that was in it. Apparently, there was a YouTube channel. It's called Saga Gerarad Music that made basically a if this was they remade the song in MIDI with no lyrics, and then they made
as if it was in the game itself.
Yeah, as if it was in Final Fantasy VII. They put it in a little 4x3
really
video,
fun.
And they kind of had the little words come up on screen like as they would have come up in the song.
I was wondering what this was. It popped up on my recommended, and I just didn't click on it.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
That's really fun.
It's pretty cool.
Good for them.
Yep.
I love shit like that. The Final Fantasy VII community is very, very creative.
Very true.
For better or worse.
Speaking of PS1 games, some guy online has made a PS1, like a handheld PS1.
Oh.
And this is really interesting. This was made by, let's see, Yvatel Griffin. The interesting thing about this, Michael, is that this is actual PS1 hardware. He cut a PSX motherboard in half and then soldered together the cut points between the two halves of the board. Apparently, it is hot as hell. It runs for about 2 hours on battery, and the power button doesn't always work, and it doesn't have any volume slider on it. But as a proof of concept, it's running native PSX hardware.
That's amazing.
And then it's running ROMs through a virtual CD
it's a ROM
drive.
one. Okay. That's kind of fun.
Because you wouldn't want a portable thing to have a spinning CD drive in the back of it.
that worked so well for the original PSP.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I should go check it out.
Good for them. They had a lot of fun with it.
Let's see. I think I have too many of these. Yeah, that'll work. Somebody bought 4,000 copies of Alan Wake.
Why?
Okay, so this is a person online who really, really likes Alan Wake, and it makes more sense when you get to the actual specifics. This person, Elisa, an AV tech and a massive Alan Wake fan, was online on eBay and found an eBay listing for 4,000 Xbox 360 download cards of Alan Wake 1 for $240.
That's crazy.
And so they bought them and got 2 giant boxes of just card after card after card of Alan Wake 1 Xbox 360 codes.
That's amazing.
That are all valid.
That's insane.
And they asked, well, what are you going to do with them? And they're like, I don't know, wallpaper my bathroom or something. Like, they didn't have any real plan. They just said like, hey, I like Alan Wake, and that's a small amount of money to spend on something really stupid so that I could be like, I bought 4,000 copies of Alan Wake.
It's fair. That's actually, no, for $200, that's just a fun story.
Yeah.
Even if they never use them, that's just a fun story.
Yeah. So it is a pretty fun story.
You should just leave them in random places.
Also, I wouldn't be shocked if Sam Lake hadn't already retweeted this / responded to it with something, because that dude's online a lot.
You want to know what I would do with that?
What's that?
I would hand them out during Halloween, just every year. free copies of Alan
You're
Wake.
the worst. They're 360 codes. Who still has a 360?
It's a backwards compatible game.
Oh, I guess. All right. Well, yeah, okay. If you got a Series X, okay.
Yeah.
Who has a Series X? Nobody.
That's fair. That's fair.
You monster.
History's greatest monster.
And last but not least, we're over time, but I don't care. I gotta sling a little poop. Did you see this? Some dude beat Elden Ring with Morse code.
What the fuck?
He's got one button. He's using the one button to enter in Morse codes that have been programmed for various attacks, movements, rolls, etc. And he posted a video of himself beating the Elden Beast at the end of Elden Ring. Let me make sure I want to make sure that I get this guy his name. Okay, this is Silithur appears to be Latin American.
Oh my god,
guy. So he beat the Elden Beast with Morse code. That's pretty cool, right?
What the actual fuck, guys? What the fuck is happening? I'm not saying it's not impressive. I'm just saying, how did this come into your thought process?
Wait, we got to figure out new ways to beat Elden Ring. We can't just be playing Elden Ring. We got to come up with new ways to play Elden Ring.
It was like the Guitar Hero controller makes sense. It was already a controller. You stared at it, and you're like, I can make this work.
DDR.
Same with the drums. Same with the
Donkey
DDR.
Konga. Yep.
Same with Donkey Konga. Same with anything that was a controller to begin with.
Sure.
Doing it blindfolded, that kind of thing. But Morse code. Why did this come into... I don't know what to say.
This is a brief sidebar. Have you ever seen this one? This is Miss Mikasa, who is playing 2 copies of Elden Ring.
Oh, come on.
One with a DDR dance pad and one with a controller in her hands at the same time.
Oh, my God.
So...
What the fuck, people?
People like to play Elden Ring, Michael.
Oh,
and
my
sometimes
God.
it gets too easy. You got to play it with Morse code or your feet. So...
What the fuck?
But we're not done. My story isn't finished yet. So this guy posted his win online, at which point Elon fucking Musk came out and responded to it with, the final battle is beautiful but easy. Try that with Melania. To which this guy responded, well, easy because I'm good at this game, you mean? And then he proceeded to post a video of him beating Melania with Morse code.
Oh, my God.
So, making Elon Musk look foolish for the 100th time today.
This is the greatest. This is the best reaction
Yes.
to that exact question.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, because of course.
No, yeah, of course.
Of course.
He's good at the game. He knows what he's doing.
The Elden Beast is easy. There are ways to cheese dick everything in this game. He is cheese dicking the game, by the way. Like, I use this sword. This is a berserk blade. Whenever you do a charge attack, it gives you back health.
Oh.
This is cheese dicking.
This is cheese dicking.
Like,
but it's
but still,
it's needed to make something like this work.
Yeah, but still.
But the fact that he's doing it with Morse code is the reason why it is impressive.
The fact that he's dodging even some of Melania's attacks with Morse code.
How is he moving?
With different Morse code inputs.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like the actual movement is Morse code related?
Well, I think that some of it might be an auto move. Like if he starts moving in a direction, he keeps moving in a direction.
Okay. I guess that would make some sense.
Like if he has a Morse code for like...
It's probably like amount of seconds.
Yeah, like
'cause he
push
did
the stick
program it,
back.
yeah.
Yes. But like guys, Elden Ring has been out for a long time. We all know the attack patterns for Melania. Let Me Solo Her was doing this shit with no clothes on.
Yeah.
Like people kill Melania at level 1 all the fucking time.
Yeah. She's now bullshit.
She was hard when the game first came out. She is now some easy ass horseshit. Who gives a fuck? So the idea that I cheese dicked Melania in our playthrough with John, my first try. I went in there with Rivers of Blood like I was supposed to, and I started spinning around this giant blood spear, and I just fucking kicked her ass, and it made it look stupid and easy. So it's not that big a deal, Elon Musk.
No.
Maybe if you quit being on Twitter and went and played Elden Ring, you would know better.
It's because the stats are bad, apparently.
He posted his layout a while back, and it was like garbage. He was like, what are you doing?
Everybody made fun of him, and it was really funny.
Yep. All right. Ending on Elon Musk dunk. There we go. Michael, where can people find you? We're getting out over here dunking on Elon with me.
You can find me on oneofus.net. We do a lot of movie television reviews. My latest review is the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I was trying to remember the wording. That should be my latest one on there. Go ahead and give it a quick listen.
Cool. We're already over time. Patreon.com/RageSelect. That's it. I love you. Get out.